And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The baseball world comes to Omaha, and 1620 The Zone is running the show. All the excitement of the Men's College World Series, the insight, the fun, and the stories behind the games, live from the Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Access Bank and Children's Nebraska. Also brought to you by Pyramid Contractors, Liberty First Credit Union, and the Henry Dorley Zoo. Don't miss a minute of the biggest event in the Big O on your station for the Men's College World Series, 1620 The Zone. Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Crossover is crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane.
One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover. Double crossover.
Crossover continues to evolve.
All right, time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com.
What's up, guys? Look at everybody. We're all
there. Here.
Are you guys all here the rest of the week?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Wow, we're doing it, guys. We're doing it. Well, I guess
don't kick it.
I guess until Friday, then we all kind of splinter out between here and downtown.
Kicking or hitting,
banging
does actually fix it because now it hasn't fallen.
It'll fall. Don't worry. It'll fall at about 12:20, and I'll say, "What was that?"
Well, now you know how to fix it. Just kick it. Just kick it.
No, don't kick it.
You guys ready for your 8? You already picked your 8? The grade 8?
The 8 have been picked for us.
Yeah.
But now you got to pick who's going to win.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
8 options.
And if these
do I have to know right now?
No, you don't have to know right now.
Okay.
Put you on the spot. And then they should do it. You know what would be really cool as a pop-up? Like you get a pop-up food truck or a restaurant that features the signature item from these 8 particular cities or states.
It's just a varying version of a hot dog, probably.
Well, they've done that before.
It's the South. It's the South. They don't have anything.
Why don't we mix
they
it
just
up with
have
a little barbecue?
Dog. Get a little barbecue going. Little Carolina barbecue.
Carolina pulled pork.
I do love a Carolina sauce. If there's ever a Carolina sauce for the wings as an option, I'm getting the Carolina sauce.
There probably is.
Like
if you
Carolina
go down
barbecue,
there.
like that. It's kind of like a mustardy.
Yeah,
I don't like barbecue.
mustardy.
I love the mustardy barbecue.
So the Carolina
Got a
barbecue,
nice tang.
Parker
is a little bit
Smokehouse has a
different
good
from
mustard one.
if you are upstate in Carolina. I found, like in Greenville, Asheville,
Up in the mountains.
yeah, compared to like in the Low Country down in Charleston.
Mm-hmm. Different
Yes.
places.
But wherever you're at in Carolina, you can get cheer wine,
Cheer wine. Yes, I've heard of this. Yes.
which is very odd to go to a fountain station and that is available.
Yeah.
Have you ever had?
Explain the cheer wine to me again. No. I know you were talking about this not that long ago. And
It is.
I never had heard
I
it.
think it's just in Carolina,
Okay.
but it is a soda
Yeah.
that you grow up with, and it is like cherry soda.
Okay.
But it is available.
No reason to drink it.
It's
but it's there.
It's available like most barbecue places. That's what they'll have.
Cheer wine soft drink, uniquely Southern since 1917. Cheer wine has a unique and fizzy wild cherry taste, made in Salisbury, North Carolina for over a century.
So
Do you get it? That was really good.
You're not a cherry
That was
pop
very
guy?
good.
No, not at all.
Oh,
not even a little bit.
I'll tell you what. If you're, yep, there it happened. He did it earlier. I'm now doing. I'll tell you what.
I tell you what.
If you ever,
Dr. Pepper.
it's an odd
cherry,
hangover cure.
No, God,
Zero
no,
Dr. Pepper
no,
cherry.
those are like the 3 worst things you could do. with your pop.
Cherry,
Dr.
Coke.
Pepper, zero cherry. What? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Dr. Pepper is.
Or, I'm sorry, wild cherry Pepsi.
Dr. Pepper is horrible. Thanks.
Number 2 soda. Cherry Coke is an oddly solid hangover cure.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
It was what was available to me one time when I had a really bad one, and I don't know, maybe it just aligned, but it hit very, very well. Where I was like, okay, I'm good.
My parents went to Stillwater for the regional, and they brought me back some pickles.
Okay.
And I haven't tried them yet, but they rave about the pickles, and they brought me some of their NIL beer.
What's it called?
It's got Pistol Pete on it. Remarkably, it's called like 1890. Something
What?
like
It's called 1890.
Yeah. It's like-
Whoa.
yeah.
Is this a reverse pipeline jerky? Where
maybe
1890 stepped on their toes, and so now Oklahoma State beer is stepping on.
Maybe it's called like Pokey or
on
something.
the 1890 beer.
It's from Iron Monk.
Cross-train?
Yeah, and there's Pistol Pete right there by the Cowboys for the Cowboys.
It is 1890.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State was founded on December 25th, 1890.
There it is.
Wow.
They had the 1890 initiative.
Who opens a college on Christmas?
That is true. That's a great.
That's burying the lead. You're right.
Yeah. It's a blonde ale, smooth, crisp, and great for any season. We think you'll be very pleased.
And it's just called 1890.
It's 1890. It's got angry Pistol Pete on the front.
What do the boys in Lincoln think about that?
I don't know if they've ever heard of it. Well, maybe they now have since they went to Stillwater. They have a variety of different beers at Iron Monk, but they do make the Pistol Pete 1890 beer.
That's a nice looking can.
Stillwater is one of those trips I do miss. Even though the hotel selection was not great.
Not great.
A little sketchy, especially the Holiday Inn.
Not a great town, but a classically Big 12 town.
So this is one of the first football trips I was on in 95 to open up the year on a Thursday down there, where essentially Lawrence Phillips won the Heisman. So you fly into Stillwater.
The Heisman chilling at his crib.
But you've been into Stillwater. When you come off of 35 and you drive that long road into Stillwater,
and you go like
right
down.
but you go right by the airstrip.
Yeah.
Okay. At the time in 95, it was not really well equipped to handle those large of planes to fly in there as charters.
Shocking.
So that was the discussion in the back of the plane is, we might be in trouble here because we're not sure.
Are we going to fly off this runway here?
The runway, there is enough runway to stop this plane.
Yeah.
This is the 1995 Nebraska football team.
That discussion made it to the back of the cabin.
There were people talking in the back of.
There must have been some real concern up front.
Yeah. And then as you get ready to land and you realize we're not really slowing down. And all I could see is I knew there was an intersection at the one edge. That we're going to be in the intersection.
Nice.
But we
that's good.
You made it.
Yeah.
That would have been,
But I liked Stillwater.
We would have lived to tell
the
your
one thing
tale,
that is, the Big Ten is home. But the Big 8, Big 12 cities, like they were good college towns. Like they were not large. Like Stillwater was small. Manhattan small. Lawrence small. They might have been on the edge of Kansas City or Oklahoma City. But like the college towns were like rather small.
Yeah, they're
So they
they're
felt
true
like a
college
town.
towns. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Lincoln was. Lincoln's really no longer that.
But I never looked at Lincoln as a college town.
No,
Because
it's a crime town.
Yeah, now it's a
Because
crime town.
the university, it's a government town, but the university is like on a small sliver of downtown Lincoln. And now, I mean, Lincoln has grown so much and so much south that you're like, that's a campus is way over there.
It still sometimes acts like a college town, though.
Very much so. I do agree.
In a variety of different ways. But yeah.
There's some very good Big Ten. That's what I would say about the Big Ten footprint. You're still getting a lot of the college town. Indiana, Bloomington for sure, and State College. Total college town.
Champaign. Urbana.
The only time I was in Champaign, we had to stay in Normal because they had graduation going on. So
you don't want to stay in Normal.
We stayed Normal, but they did have a distilled brewery right next to the hotel.
Okay,
so that was okay. That was a good consolation prize. But yeah, Normal, which is also, I guess, a college.
What about
town.
Madison? What's Madison's a pretty decent sized city, but a great spot.
Yeah.
Madtown is called that for a reason.
Yeah, that's a hell of a place. That's a hell of a place.
But okay, so Evanston, I mean,
it's not
you
even
can't,
Evanston.
You can't in Evanston, it's basically an extension of Chicago, which it is. It's a suburb. Yeah. And there's no real tailgating.
No,
and the game day atmosphere is not great. When you're
going
a way on
to
the train to get there and then just go to the stadium.
When you're going to a road trip at Northwestern, you're only going because you get the Chicago part.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
the Evanston.
Yeah,
part.
it's like, hey, we're going to go to the
Yeah.
city and do that stuff.
Now,
Yes.
not a huge fan of Michigan Stadium, but Ann Arbor's not a bad town. Ann Arbor's kind of a fun college town,
Yeah.
but it's on the cusp of Detroit.
Haven't been to a
Yep.
game there. I've been up in the area, but haven't been around the town.
Columbus is Columbus is the largest city in the state of Ohio, so it's
Not at all
not,
a college
not really a
town.
college town. Even though the college is 50,000 kids go to school there,
Yeah.
and is mammoth.
Too big.
Yeah. So
They have a
I'm
pro
with you.
sports team.
They have an NFL
Ann Arbor
franchise.
is way more college town feel. East Lansing is just kind of, I don't, it's college town, but it's not, it's just very bleak. There's nothing about it that stands out.
Iowa City's a good college town.
Iowa City is a good college town. Absolutely. No doubt. It's set up that way for sure.
Did you go to
Piscataway.
Oregon when they played there in 16?
I did not. I'd never been.
Oregon's a very interesting town. It's it's very
So many trees. Those are so many trees up there.
there's a lot of congestion.
Where those trees come
They
from?
just kept building stuff on top of stuff. And of course you have a lot of granolas,
and trees.
Oh, yeah.
and they let you know. But where their
A lot of
athletic
granolas.
complexes are is really, really nice. It is a college town, but it doesn't feel like a college town.
Yeah, we're
like
not-
at UCLA and USC,
No.
UCLA, when you go to the Rose Bowl, it's not even on campus.
No.
When you go to the Coliseum, it's on campus, but you're not going, hey,
It
this
ain't
is
a
a
college.
college town.
No, it's just a college campus that pops up in the
and
middle
then
of
in
the town.
Seattle, which a beautiful setting as you walk into Husky Stadium, but you're not really in a college town. You're in the city of Seattle.
No, none of the new Big Ten members really bring much to the table in terms of college town
Now,
experiences.
I've never been to
but that's
college-
okay. There's room for that.
I've
There's
never
room
been
for
to
big
College
cities.
Park.
I've heard college, not great. As far as a college town, I guess I haven't gotten any definitive answer, but I heard it's not the most exciting.
But aren't you
place.
just?
But you're right by Baltimore.
Isn't it the same? Yeah. Like, aren't you just going to College Park just to get the East Coast? Like,
Yeah.
hey, maybe I'll go to DC for a night or something like that.
Yeah, I mean Piscataway's basically New Brunswick,
Yeah,
and their little area where they are, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
not awful.
you treat like you're going to go to Maryland, but you're going to go spend time in DC.
Yeah,
Or
you're
it's
going to
like-
go downtown.
You're going to come to Lincoln. You're going to spend time in Omaha.
Yeah, Piscataway. You're going into the city.
go to
You're
the
going,
big city.
you're going to New York City and taking a train for about 30 minutes, and you're
Now, did your folks
doubt.
have a good time in Stillwater?
They did. They really enjoyed it. Yeah. They
Was that a random trip?
kind of popped up a little late. Yeah. Yeah. And
Good
they,
on them.
they went to they stayed in a hotel a little bit outside because of the aforementioned hotel issues.
Did they play golf?
No golf. No golf. My parents are not golfers. My dad's not a golfer.
They have the world famous Karsten Creek.
Oh yeah.
Yes, which is on the outskirts of Stillwater.
That would not have gotten on my dad's radar, I don't think.
Okay.
No.
They didn't drive down to Oklahoma City.
They did go to Bricktown. They went to Toby Keith's restaurant, I think. R.I.P.
Yes. Did they stop at Brahms?
Yeah.
A familiar standalone when you're driving on 35 in Oklahoma. There'll be a Brahms and there's nothing else around. It's
So-
just off an exit.
I didn't know that was an Oklahoma thing. I had only been to the Brahms in Milwaukee. Isn't that? Is
I
that the
think
same
it's the
thing?
same.
Oh, okay.
I've never
Still-
seen a Brahms outside of the state of Oklahoma.
Huh. Hold on, let me do some research here. Brahms.
But I miss Stillwater. I liked Stillwater because where the ballpark, where their new baseball stadium is,
Yeah.
where Gallagher Iba is, where the football stadium is, they're all like right next to each other.
Mhm.
And they've got that small downtown in
Yeah.
Stillwater where
Yep.
Eskimo Joe's is.
It's a
So
college
everything's
town,
within
man.
walking distance, and it doesn't seem like it's this gigantic area where it's tough to get around.
No,
I've
very
never
spread
been.
out
I've
at
never
all.
been in Norman, but I've heard Stillwater is better than Norman. Is that correct? I've never done the Norman
Uh,
trip.
I don't know.
It depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah,
I
Norman's a
think.
little bit larger.
Okay.
Norman's not bad, but
Uh,
it's like the tailgate scene in Norman is pretty good.
I
Fayetteville.
hope so.
Fayetteville was pretty. Everything was on campus there, like really close proximity. They have one of those setups where the basketball arena is right next to the
Yeah.
football stadium, except for the baseball park is not really close. The baseball
Really?
park is a little out there, so that's a car thing. LSU, I stopped by LSU one day.
Now that's like
so-
baseball is a long way away from football.
Exactly. So they have football and basketball right next to each other, and then baseball is not in the real vicinity.
So the same way at Georgia.
And then you have Mike who's sitting in his cage, who's ready to kill you.
So Georgia baseball, where they played last night, Foley Field, over the left field wall is Stegman Coliseum where basketball is, but Sanford Stadium is a ways away from, like, even where the football complex is, because the football complex in Athens is right next or close to basketball, and then Foley Field where they play baseball. There's the tennis complex over the right field wall, but Sanford Stadium is a hike from there.
I love the look at that Georgia Super Regional with the frat house on
Yes.
the hill. And
that
right
is pretty
field.
sweet.
That was hilarious.
There were some awesome scenes
Also-
in a lot of those SEC places too that we're hosting.
Did you guys notice? Maybe I wasn't watching it right. It was so dark at that game last night.
Yeah,
it was so dark. I could barely see anything.
I thought the same thing with the A&M game.
And then the North Carolina State guy hit that home run, and they were like, "Yeah, we lost it. It's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, but it's not in the ballpark
one in,
anymore."
like the right center, like in the tree.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, where'd they go?
It's just gone.
I thought the same thing about A&M when they beat Oregon.
Really?
When they had the 9-run inning. That was when I tuned in. Was right before that. I'm like, why does it look so
They
dark?
had some
there?
weird stuff with their camera at that one. They weren't focused on the
Okay.
right thing. There was some
But-
stuff that were out of focus.
So do
on
you
that.
think, like, some of these college baseball ballparks are not built for TV? Like,
Correct.
you can
Most
carry a
of them.
game, but normally where you'd put a camera, there's no space. They didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Or even like booths where they're like, it's an afterthought. But I wonder if because of the setup, some of these camera angles and lighting were real wonky.
Probably.
Definitely.
I would assume so.
They've also made it more difficult, I think, on television with the addition of all these nets. There's nets
Yeah, that's a good
everywhere.
point.
You go to any baseball
Yeah.
park, it's just a net.
That's a
now.
good point.
Now they're going to extend the nets all
Can
the
you
way
brighten
down.
the look despite the dark net? Yeah, that's
Does
a
the
decent point.
speaking of nets, because Warner Park has to extend theirs all the way down.
Yeah, they're going to have to gill more net. You're going to learn how to speak net, buddy.
Downtown, they just go to the dugouts, right?
Yeah, end of the dugout. Yeah,
Yes. It used to not be on top of the dugout.
I know.
Do you
and
remember
we're
that?
playing
People
with,
would die.
We're playing with those bats.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty close.
I am surprised that there has not been a push to extend the nets at the home of the College World Series.
Oh, just
I'm
wait.
sure it will be.
Something will happen.
So does that mean we're picking up that tab?
Omaha as a city?
It'll just increase the entertainment tax because it's entertainment.
Sure.
It'll be okay.
I'll pay a couple of extra
Couple of extra
quarters
cents.
of a penny on
Yeah.
my burger.
Yeah, you'll never
Per meal.
notice.
So you don't get drilled in section 26
Yeah.
for the greater
because
good.
you're not paying attention.
Those people who are right beyond the nets, just at the end of the dugouts, I mean, those guys are
Yeah.
in grave danger sometimes.
I thought that
You got to really pay attention.
one of the first times I've ever sat behind the net was Saturday night at Warner Park, and I sat behind the third base dugout. I mean, it's you don't really notice it until there's a ball coming your way.
Yeah.
It
But
is
then
still
you start to think about it though, and you're
it's
like,
still kind of awkward.
yeah, I don't love it, but I love safety, so it's very conflicting. Josh knows that I love
You
safety.
do love safety. Are the Nets woke?
I mean, kind of. You
Well,
know,
hey,
all these ballparks are
Hey,
being asked
the
to do
nets,
nets.
the nets limit fun because look at the player when kids are hollering for a baseball.
They have to throw it over the
They have
net.
to
Yeah.
throw it over
Yep.
the net.
It's a problem. Now you got to sneak all the way down the third or left field or right field line to get one.
Do they have that on like the ticket websites where you know where if you have a net
be
in front
behind
of
a
you or
net?
not? They should put that net
I don't believe
obstruction.
so. The obstruction, but it's always an actual beam. It's not a net. I
Because
don't think so.
You want as good of access to a baseball as you could possibly
That's it,
get
yeah.
when
That's
you
a
go
good
to a
point.
baseball game. So
yeah.
those people who are just beyond the dugouts at Warner Park, they get all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they get all those baseballs because the guys aren't throwing the balls over the net as much.
Oh, when I was there the other day when you were with, or I said
I was
with
there.
us, but you were there as well.
Yeah.
You were hanging out a little bit. All those kids that were in the suite would run down there in that little corner, and I think they came away with 4 or 5 baseballs.
Yeah. It's like
legit.
heaven. Yeah.
It's having a good plan.
But more net,
got me
less
thinking here.
balls.
I don't know this, but like at Wrigley Field, there are definitely some obstructed seating.
Yeah.
Like in the
Oh, yeah,
in the
the bi-
lower and upper level.
Yeah, there's
when
some
you get to a
beams.
certain row,
Yeah.
you're sitting behind a beam.
Yep. Fenway's got that too.
At
Got some
Memorial
beams.
Stadium, do they have that on the ticket that there are some obstructed seats like underneath the overhang?
Depending on where you get them from.
I think so. Yes.
Like on the official site, they tell you it's obstructed viewing.
That I don't know. On the secondary sites, they do because that's all
Yeah.
crowdsourced. Like I always look at if I'm buying a ticket to anything, there's this website called findyourseat.com or something like that. And you can, like, there's pictures from all these various just individual seats around the ballpark, and you can see what it's actually going to look like.
Yep.
I found it to be a tremendous assist of a website.
I almost applied for a part-time job doing that. That you would go around to empty stadiums and
Just
go
take
seat
pictures.
by seat and just take.
Oh,
a
they
picture.
hire people to do that?
Wow. Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be a
Let's
good
do
gig.
So
that.
an empty stadium.
Yeah.
You go in and you sit in every seat and take a picture.
That'd
be a great gig.
I mean, that would take a long time.
It would.
That would be an exhausting day.
It's like a full day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Take a picture.
Well, because you'd have to.
You got to make sure you have a
actually
seat in the section.
So the way it was described was, you have to sit in every seat.
Yeah.
So you have to get up, sit down, get up, sit down,
Oh
get
my
up,
God.
sit down.
and make sure that you document each seat,
I
each
mean,
section.
Really, you only have to do like 2 a row, one on the end, one on both ends, and then, all right, let's move it back to the other row. I get the idea. Like, they don't have one for every single seat usually. They'll just, if I find one relatively close, that'll tell me the answer.
Okay.
But at Wrigley, when you're sitting up there in the back, underneath
tough
the
to see.
overhang behind, like, it's pretty 50-50 if you're going to have a pole in front of you on some portion of the
Right.
ballpark. You don't have to be sitting directly behind the pole to be obstructed by the pole.
Mhm.
So that's something you have to note when you go to these games.
On cue, this is from listener. I think his name is Clue. I don't know, not sure.
Clue.
He said, first time going to a Nebraska game a few years ago, I spent nearly $500 to sit on the 50-yard line, row 42. When I was online, I saw the picture of the seats. They looked awesome. Instead, our seats were directly behind a pillar under the roof. Why would a venue sell tickets directly behind a pillar? Ruin the entire experience. And I found out why Memorial Stadium is not the best experience. We were all crammed in towards each other. Loved everything else except for my seats in the stadium. Yes, there are obstructed view, and they don't necessarily tell you.
Yeah, this is where like institutional knowledge, like really, I mean, it's gonna get you there because that, hey, yeah, if it's in the first 40 rows or the first 30 rows, like, we're probably gonna be okay. But
Right.
if we start getting back up close to 50, we're behind a pole.
So
yeah, that's a great seat, if not for that pole.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be an amazing.
So
seat.
he's on the 50-yard line. I don't know how many rows are underneath.
There's probably 50 to 60, I would say.
And he is almost like half of his view is a pillar.
Yeah, it's the same thing on the east side. It's the same thing.
But
thing
don't
on the
they
east
have
side.
okay? So I'm not saying that this is okay. They have they installed TVs underneath there,
Yes,
right?
They have.
Yep.
They have. They're
Yep.
quite small.
Yes, you can see that, especially in night games. You can see them going.
I believe
Yeah,
they were
are.
installed quite a while ago.
Like, who in
Yeah.
their right mind would buy a ticket there where you're looking through a pillar most of the game? You're basically, it looks like from his view, from the 50 to, I don't know, the 35-yard line, it's obstructed.
It's pole.
They're absolutely counting each and every game on someone going, 50-yard line ticket available
Exactly.
online.
Yep.
You
I'll
have
take
to
that.
do some
Oh, yeah.
deductive
And
reasoning.
It's not that expensive either.
And you have to think, why am I only paying $45 for this chair
Right.
if it's only on the 50-yard line?
Yep.
If it's on the 50, what's going on here? I got to
There's a
check into
catch.
this. And that's when you look into it and you find that there's a giant pole in front of you. Or maybe you take the risk and you go sit behind the giant pole anyway and just hope that you could maneuver it or move it
You don't need
around.
that 15 to 20 yards of field. You're like, hey, you know what? That's insignificant. I got 80 more yards to work with here.
Lower level of Williams Arena up in Minnesota, this issue as well.
Oh,
Like,
I
if you're
bet.
farther up underneath the
Yeah.
overhang,
Yeah.
you're going to sit behind a pillar.
that
Oh,
seems
yeah,
like
on
a
the each end, yeah.
disaster. That seems like a disaster for seating capabilities. That barn. Husker Country says there's an asterisk on the ticket that indicates obstructed view.
Oh, there is.
Are they the same price?
I don't know.
You can't charge charge the same price for an obstructed view
Yes,
seat.
you can.
I bet they attempt to.
I mean, I would feel bad for this guy. This is a terrible. You can't see the game.
Mason
Yeah.
Daniel writes in, those sites use mostly user submissions. I bet Connor uses those sites but never submits pictures. You would be correct.
So you're going off of the blood, sweat, and tears of somebody else's submission, but you're not going to return the favor.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, man.
I've never submitted a picture to a
Do something for your mankind.
See Your View website. No, never once. I don't plan on it either.
Have you ever chimed in if you've been in a bad seat, like, hey, watch out for section such and such? It's
no, I just
obstruction.
I use that knowledge for my own personal gain, and then I let everybody else figure it as they go. They'll figure it out.
Because you had to figure it out yourself, right?
I did.
So why shouldn't others?
Well, with the help of those websites,
right. For other people that were helping you, that were claiming submissions there. Jeez.
Well, you know what? Okay, Dan, and now you got to get rid of all the obstructive view seating at Memorial Stadium. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're gonna have to blow that thing up. Blow it up.
Find a way to reinforce so we don't sit behind pillars.
Yeah, these aren't load barons or anything like that, so you probably don't need them. Just see what happens when you take one down. See if anything.
There you go. See what happens.
See if anything comes out. If it comes down, they're like, well, I guess we got to build a new stadium now. Darn.
Or this is like, what's that game? Is it Jumanji?
Jenga. Yeah.
Jumanji.
That's a different thing.
It's a movie.
So you remove one pillar, and if nothing falls, you're like,
all right, we're good.
All right.
Let's see if we get through this weekend.
Let's try and take second pillar out. Are we pushing it a little bit too much?
Yeah.
Probably.
Again, at the end of the day, if it falls down, then all right, we got to build a new one.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wanted to do to begin with.
I think I'm going to call down there, and I got questions about obstructed seating. Like, I just don't understand. In your right mind, you like season ticket. I want to sit behind that.
So somebody said it is face value. No, not the same price. That's what Husker Country says.
Well, at least it's that. Yeah, if you're getting the normal 50-yard line seat without an obstruction, that would be pretty bush league.
Connor sounds like the guy where the pay it forward line would end at the drive-thru at Starbucks.
You're like, oh, sweet.
Thank you. Oh, would you like to pay it forward?
That's so nice.
No, I'm looking to get my free cup of coffee and just chalk it up as a good
Have you
day.
ever played pay it forward roulette?
I have never been in
taking
one of those
chances?
stupid lines, by
Of
the way.
course. Connor would definitely go, I don't know what they got behind me. It could be more.
Exactly.
The only time
Thank
it
you,
happened to me at a
Josh.
coffee line, I did. And
It happened to you?
It did, and I paid it forward, and it ended up being an $8 something order, and that was like $5 more than what I was spending. I'm like, what?
Yeah, because everybody's getting mocha frappuccinos.
So I ended up paying more than the free gesture than what I originally would have paid if I just like, you know what? Can you just get the next person? I'm going to go ahead and pay for mine.
That's where you go back through and you say, well, 55 fries, 55 cheeseburgers, 55.
Yeah. Can I get a muffin too?
Never pulled the move when, well, I guess you were sweethearts with your wife early. I was going to say you never pulled the move of buying drinks in a bar.
What do you mean
or
by
buying
that?
somebody's meal?
Yeah.
You know, you're making a.
I've done that before. It's not a move.
A romantic move.
Yeah.
To buy drinks or a dinner. A couple of. You never did this?
Oh, like
what are you talking about?
Buy a round of the bar for
send
strangers?
a drink across the room.
Oh, I thought you were saying, okay, I got you.
Did you ever buy a meal?
I was trying hard.
Chicken tender platter?
No.
You're like, hey, tell them that
It might have been at the old Chicago.
Hey, send her a plate of sushi.
I think it was at the old Chicago in the Haymarket. And I was sitting at the bar with a buddy, and there were two young ladies, our same age, we're in college, and they were at the booths that were right behind where you sat at the bar.
Yeah.
And we were like making some eye contact, and I was still new to this thing. And so, yes, I said, I will buy their meal.
You know, those
Wow.
pepperoni
Yeah, you know
rolls ain't
Hey.
free, sweetheart.
And you know, all I got,
Italian nachos?
I just like, she put her hand on my shoulder and said, thank you. And they kept walking. I was
like, talk about your all-time backfire.
I bet that happened to them a lot. I bet they probably got a lot of free meals just by living.
I don't know that, like,
Well-
the drink thing, I feel like we've all done that. But the meal thing, I've never. Yeah, that's a bold
tried.
move. That's
okay.
good on you. All
Yeah.
right, stepping it up.
Like, how come us dudes don't ever get our drinks bought?
I did once buy another dude who thought I was Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Send her an appetizer.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever had a drink bought for me.
Chicken crispers.
Yeah. Actually, no, I take that back. We were at the
Southwest egg rolls.
Phil
Are you
Manley.
going to eat all those?
Phil Manley and I had
paid for
we
it?
had a picture of champagne sent over from the homie.
Oh.
From a couple of ladies.
Oh, that's nice.
Unfortunately, we were off the market.
But you
They
still
didn't know,
drank the
and we did
champagne.
drink it, and we gave them a hey, thanks.
And
a
you
lot.
just said, hey, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. That's a good move.
Yeah, we got from the homie as well.
But nowadays, you don't have that as often because if you are a stranger buying drinks for the ladies, they think they're being roofied.
Yeah, true.
So they'll decline them.
Yeah, but they're getting them from the bar. You
What
know,
are they?
it's not like they're
Is
bringing
the
them
bar-
to you first.
Do they know if the bartender's in cahoots? He might be part of the bit.
So you'd have to pay off the bartender to do something horribly illegal. I don't know. It seems like too big of a conspiracy.
Got it. It's
to me.
2024, my man.
You're right. I don't know what goes on out there. I don't know what's going on out there. I have seen a bunch of people, or I've seen some videos highlighting some of our local businesses around town and prior to the College World Series here. And one of them that comes up a lot is a great tourist destination in Omaha. The place where they have the raccoons that eat the chicken.
Alpine Inn.
Alpine,
yeah,
yes.
the Alpine.
Yeah. And they're like, this is Omaha's weirdest thing that they have. Go there. Like, yeah, you could, or you could just have a normal time if you want.
Yeah.
You're not in on Alpine Inn?
I don't think that I've ever been to Alpine Inn.
It is I will say it's quite the experience.
Yeah.
To see him.
Where is Alpine Inn?
Northwest Omaha.
Yeah.
Where Northwest Omaha?
So 680 and you get off on as a Blair High Road?
Yeah, yeah. It's
no.
Or is it
Not
Irving?
Blair High Road.
You're talking about Irvington?
Irvington.
Oh, I love the
It's very
Irvington
close.
exit.
Over by Gladiator Park.
And then go north.
By Gladiator Park, yeah, it's where.
And then go north and you wind your
Oh,
way.
no. It's not Irving. No, it's you get off at 30th Street and you go north. Well, yeah. That's not Irvington. It's like 6 miles away.
Oh, wait a minute, that's Irvington.
No, it's not.
Close.
No, it's not. It is not.
You're on
It is
680
not.
and you get off on 30th and you go right.
Well,
You're
you
gonna
go
into
by.
Irvington.
Okay, I guess you go by the Irvington exit on your way to 30th. Yeah.
You go by it and then go past it
Hold on,
6
wait,
miles.
I might be speaking out of turn because that's your part of the city.
Yeah.
The Irvington exit is where the famous Walmart is, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so before that,
If you're heading west on
Yeah.
680.
Yeah.
Yes. Much before
All right,
that.
It's the
my
way that
bad.
you would take to go to the airport.
my bad, I was off
Yeah.
on my Northwest Omaha knowledge.
That's okay.
Right
It's
off
okay.
of the Mormon Bridge, which is now blue.
Yeah.
Used to
It
be
is
green.
blue.
Throws
And it was
me off
well,
every
remember
time.
at one
It's
point it
blue
was
now.
blue and green.
Yeah, for like 2 years.
Wow, this is like, well, this is
But
a
you
very
get off there and you
north
go
friendly.
right, you're going to go into Irvington.
No.
What is it? No, am I
That's
thinking
Florence. That's
Florence.
Florence.
Florence,
That's,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Florence.
Okay.
Gosh, I need to.
Don't disrespect where I grew up.
Yeah, Josh is
They have a
Irvington
Zesto
proud.
there. I'm very happy. They
Yeah.
also have a Zesto that if you stand there and you wait in line, you can see the bullet holes in the side of Zesto.
Sure.
Oh boy,
There's a lot going on.
And they have I think they have the last standing right where they have that Hy-Vee. They have a drug town. Remember when Hy-Vees had drug towns?
What's
Just a-
drug
no.
town?
It was
Is
the
this only in Iowa?
Hy-Vee pharmacy, like right next to
call-
Hy-Vee would be a drug. It was called Drug Town.
Yeah.
Drug town.
I do not remember this. Is this
And
only
they
in
have,
Iowa?
I may not still be there because I haven't been over in that area in a while, but they used to have still a drug town. It was the Hy-Vee pharmacy.
Drug Town.
It's
They
a-
called it Drug
I
Town.
had a
Yes.
friend who
Yeah.
worked at that
Wow.
Hy-Vee right there off 30th. Ran
Huh.
into a lot of fun things.
In Drug Town.
Well, I don't know about the drug town.
I never. This is the first I've ever heard about Drug Town. I mean, I know about the Hy-Vee pharmacy.
On the map, it says Alpine Inn, home of the wildlife.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
always raccoons.
So
looking at
you can sit there if you get a seat, if you get a table by the window, you can see the raccoons eating.
Yeah. Yes. No, I know about the bit.
But just
yeah.
a tip here, because the first time I went there, just being Mr. Funny Guy, I said, "Is this really chicken or is it?" And I pointed to the raccoons.
Why don't you
That did
just
not go over so
Yeah, I'm
well.
sure people
why
don't
don't
say
you just go a little further north and go to Surfside and watch people's butts going down the river?
Yeah, get mooned.
I do like going to Surfside.
Yeah,
I go there quite often.
you like butts.
Okay, there is a lot of flashing
Uh-huh.
that goes on.
Tons of it.
I'm a big
It's
fan.
expected at this
I'm
point.
a big fan of Surfside. Good music.
Oh yeah, it's a great summer spot. Why don't you just head
it's
there?
usually
I
whenever
don't
I'm
have
there,
to
it's hotter
pour
than-
over the menu.
Yeah, they give you paper plates.
See, now you guys are bringing up memories of the old Anchor Inn too. Before they attempted to move it to Ralston, but the Anchor Inn with
Get you a nice watermelon.
the watermelon. Yep, that place.
See, we
was
have a lot-
as disgusting as ever.
We have a lot of fun and quirky things to offer in this
Yeah.
town. Only one of them features raccoons.
Do you think that people that are coming in for the CWS, like that's on their bucket list?
What if I
They want
told
to see the raccoons eat.
What if I'm meeting somebody for the first time this week and they're like, "Hey, I'm new. I'm going to stay for 4 days. Like, where should I go?" And I tell them to go to Surfside. Do you think that would be a good recommendation or a bad one?
Well, they're going to be amongst locals.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to go where the locals are? Go to the raccoon place.
It depends on what kind of person you are recommending this to.
This person's from the South. They have long hair.
Yes,
They
they will
probably
love
like chicken.
They will love
They
Surfside.
probably like chicken.
Doesn't
Cold
Surfside
beer.
make those watermelons now?
Oh, do
I
they?
think they do. I think somebody from the Anchor Inn came over and they now make those.
Oh,
there.
wow.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah. So you got them all.
Why are we not doing
And
a
you
show
can
for
sell
that?
it. You have
It's true.
You have waterfront dining.
Exactly.
We
You
don't
do.
really tell anybody what's that water look like.
And Gary's right. You get some live entertainment there.
Whoever said Omaha
And
was
it
landlocked.
is a good people watching spot.
Mhm.
It's
It is.
incredible.
It is a melting pot of us Omahans.
Somebody from the South would love the environment.
I
of
agree.
Surfside.
But
Yeah,
I would send
I
them to
totally
Alpine Inn.
because that's where they would usually go to Rick's Boatyard, which is dead.
Yeah.
Rick's Boatyard. It's gone.
Remember when it was Stores Brewery?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember it anything other than
My,
Rick's
uh,
Boatyard.
The brewery didn't last long.
My first Thanksgiving in Omaha. I didn't have any family here.
You went to Rick's Boatyard?
I went to Rick's Boatyard, and about a month later is when it shut down.
Oh no.
Because
So
they
it's
were
your
offering
fault.
a Thanksgiving meal.
That was their
The service
Their
was
grand finale?
awful. The food was good.
Yeah.
The service brutal.
Now it's just
well, it was
the-
Thanksgiving.
But then I wondered,
Gary.
okay, so then I wondered, how come a place like right there can't survive?
I know.
Yep.
Like
You think
conveniently
anything waterfront like
located.
that?
You got people that are coming to the bridge, they're
Yep.
down to the water.
Yep.
And
Every time I drove by there was always loaded up with cars.
The threat of disastrous flood constantly.
Yeah. Right.
That hurts. That hurts.
we should send people to Alpine Inn just to see what their reaction would be.
Yeah.
Again, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Is
This person
I think there's
sweaty?
certain, I think
Are
there's
they-
certain fan bases that would be making their way in that would have
How-
zero problem.
do
with
they have sleeves on their shirt?
Uh-huh.
If they do
Uh,
not, go ahead.
Yeah,
Alpine
and,
Inn.
like if they're from Kentucky, they'll be like, "Oh, this looks like home."
Are they an NC State
See,
fan
this is
wearing
Kentucky's
camo?
first go around. Do they make Alpine in their spot?
Yeah,
Like LSU has Barrett's.
yeah.
That's
it's gonna be the
right.
Kentucky
What is-
hangout?
What is the official Kentucky bar of Omaha?
It's going to be Alpine, man.
Oh, gosh, I
What do
don't.
we got
I don't
down
know
there?
about a particular one, but maybe the area. I think Kentucky fans would fit in perfectly. I would say Leavenworth, but
There's a lot of good options.
There,
on that
there
street.
are. If you just keep making your way down there.
well, it depends on how close you
Alderman's?
get to Saddle Creek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then we're pushing a little far. At that point,
I could see Alpine being a candidate.
seems like a good
It's not
spot.
the easiest place to get to.
It
It's not
isn't.
like-
I know. That's the
you know,
thing.
can I
It's
take
gotta
an
be
Uber
You
from
gotta have a car,
downtown
but if you
Omaha?
got a car, you can do anything. You can go anywhere. Omaha's very drivable. I don't know
That's
if you
true.
guys have heard this.
Adam seems to think that Kentucky fans, a bit higher class, wealth wise, they will be old market fans.
Do you think?
Okay.
Do you think that there will be a lot of takes about our airport when the people get here?
Oh, good point.
Because it's
It's all
not in
torn
the
up.
best shape at the moment.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that probably will be a talking point. I think more so. You know
The
what?
baby Bob.
So I don't know if they've changed the media hotel,
Shut the hell up.
but
I'm doing a report from the baby Bob.
There's so much foot traffic. They needed a second one. BS.
With a,
No,
are you gonna have the hard hat
where-
on?
But
I
hey,
mean,
Josh, it was so hard to get to the big Bob.
where it's going to come out is actually really convenient.
It's very convenient. Listen to Gary.
But now it's not going to open till November,
So
you're gonna
fall. Yeah.
Excellent planning.
and a lot of people probably won't be walking across
Right.
that bridge because it'll
Right.
be like,
All right, it's the dead of winter. We're all here in our parkas.
Um,
Let's cut the ribbon on this baby Bob.
Yeah.
so
The baby
I don't
Bob.
know if they moved
Right before
me-
the Creighton, Kansas game.
the media
Yep.
hotel. But prices are a little bit high. There was either last year or the year before, the media hotel was when you are on your way to Epley.
Mhm.
Oh, that Holiday Inn right there.
The one right by
I
the
go
strip
there
club?
sometimes and do my sports bets in
Oh,
the parking lot.
Oh, it's
Yep.
not the one by Spearmint Rhino?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it is the one. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That
and
one.
that one, and
That's a
then
good
there's
spot.
another one that's
Very
a little
convenient.
bit further down.
That's literally right there.
To hear fellow media members talk about the experience at that hotel,
I'm
sure.
what's waiting for them when they get back after a late night at the ballpark.
These high prices
Can
on
imagine.
these hotels almost displaced Frank Caliendo, my close personal friend.
That's
Oh,
true.
no.
Ooh,
What?
Where did he want to stay?
He got what he wanted because he's rich.
Yeah.
And
Wow. He made a one-time
That's a great
sacrifice.
thing. That's a great. Yeah.
That's it. Put that on a bumper sticker.
He got what he wanted because he's rich. Some other folks, they'll be displaced. So you're welcome for the Commerce Council bluffs.
Either camp or, like stay way out west or in Lincoln.
What about that place that Nick likes to go? With the ice cream?
Me?
No, not
Grim.
Nick. Yeah.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. That's over by. God, what is it? It's kind of Council Bluffs. What it's
I don't know where it's at all.
It's the little tiny town in Iowa. Like it's right next to Council Bluffs. Why am I totally blanking on this?
Carter Lake.
No.
Oh,
Mount Crescent.
Manawa.
Like you might bump into it if you go up to the Lewis and Clark Monument.
Yeah.
That's a banger of an ice cream shop.
I've heard good stuff.
I've heard great things
Yeah, I
about
have
Krispy Kreme. You could also go play golf at Bent Tree. Great.
Bent Tree is very good.
Great course.
The Bent Tree is no longer there, though.
Just hit us up. We're basically your tour guides this week.
Yep.
So just let us know.
I don't know.
We'll send you to the right place.
So
We'll
I've got a
take-
nice little course
just
called
if you
Notes.
don't mind us profiling you a little bit and saying, I think you would like
you look like you'd like this.
Yeah. Then we're here for you.
Sleeves or no sleeves? I don't know if that's the first or second question.
Doesn't even have to be a question. You could just read the room on that one. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a orange sherbet day at Krispy Kreme.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow's
It's actually
Huckleberry.
that's a really good. It's kind of a quirky parking lot to get into, but that's a good ice cream shop over on that side of the river.
Never
George-
World
George.
famous French fries, guys. $4.35.
There you
You
go.
think anybody questions like why are they world famous? Like looking for some
No.
documentation?
No, if it says world famous on the menu, you don't question it and you order it.
That's what the Alpine Inn says.
I like this game of where will blank
Where are we
fan
sending?
base more
Yeah.
likely to
Yeah.
party in Omaha.
Yeah, we don't have any Stanfords here this year.
Right. This isn't the
Yeah.
best year to do that, but
Yeah.
this is a good bit that we stumbled into.
Virginia fans, that's a little bit of money.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're probably going to be hanging out at like I don't know, Shadow Ridge,
Yeah, they're
Village Point.
their hotels.
Midtown Crossing.
Yeah.
Their hotels
Yeah.
are their
No,
hotels
Midtown-
are downtown.
Midtown Crossing is not bougie.
It used to be. It used to
I'm
be.
past
There's a couple-
Midtown Crossing.
there's a
Midtown
couple-
Crossing is.
It
like,
used to be.
It's
that
a
was
failed
that was way
experiment.
in the past.
It's a failed experiment.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
Oh, I'm out. Hey, when Leadbelly moved out of there, I'm done.
Great take.
See you
Great take.
later.
When they moved out and they haven't replaced it, I'm like, I'm done with Midtown. And then Blackstone blew up.
Really has. People are going to be
You know,
making
I
their way
could,
to
I
the
could
Chop
see
House.
Virginia hanging out in Blackstone, actually. There's a couple of nice, there's some speakeasies.
There are. You got to find them though.
Yeah, you gotta find
do
'em.
the special
Yeah,
knock.
you got to know.
Who's going to Benson?
Anyone. I feel like that can accommodate any type of fan base.
That's true. Benson is for all.
I think it's all inclusive.
Poll question: is Benson for all?
It
Sure.
is. It is.
I think so.
It
I can't wait
absolutely
to read
is.
the replies. Not the vote, but the replies.
All right. You guys have a great afternoon. We'll continue to figure this out as we go on throughout the week. That's the crossover powered by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha, everylevelconcrete.com. It's Tuesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
But here's the other thing that I've also come to a conclusion after eating in a restaurant the other day. You know when you walk in and they go, would you like a booth or a table? I am here to tell you, I don't mean to be mean about this, there is no one that goes to a restaurant where the booth is available that wants a table. There just isn't. And if they want the table over the booth, I'm very curious about who they are, how they're made up.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
It's going to be a cloudy morning, and you may see a stray shower make its way through, but not much that will impact the morning drive. Throughout the afternoon, more sunshine, and we warm up to near 90 degrees. And then tomorrow, we really turn up the heat with a high temperature near 95 degrees. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
Success in today's electrical market requires your company to be able to adjust to an ever-changing field. A partnership with IBEW Local 22 gives you that flexibility with access to journeymen, apprentices, proven training programs, marketing assistance, entry into markets not available before, ability to expand and contract with changing market conditions, and a benefits package for you and your employees. Contact Bob at IBEW Local 22 for additional details at 402-980-7596.
That's the sound of steak searing in its juices on your new pellet grill. You heard that right. The Weber Searwood Pellet Grill can smoke low and slow at 180 degrees all the way to a high heat sear at 600. With the Weber Searwood, you can cook on the direct flame over the full grate sear zone. You'll hear the gasp of amazement from friends and family when you serve the food. Cooking with the Weber Searwood Pellet Grill just sounds delicious and tastes even better.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. We have our Omaha 8. That's right. Congratulations to Camo Jersey, North Carolina State. Will be making their return for the first time since something happened in 2021. Odd year.
They even alluded to it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
But wouldn't say what.
Something weird happened. I don't know what it was, but something
Why
happened.
the camo?
It's just an alternate jersey, Josh.
Okay.
People like camo. Although we're not doing much camo anymore.
No.
Those are in the back of the closet somewhere.
Like the Padres are allowed to do it and no one else.
All right. Welcome to the show today. Here's what we got. Allan Bell is going to join us coming up at the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour. We'll get a look at the College World Series from a betting angle with him and a variety of other topics, I'm sure, like food. We'll ask him definitively if he has plans to make his way up here. We'll see. He's teased us. Is it happening?
He has teased us.
We'll see. We will find out. Jacob Bigelow will join us in the 1 o'clock hour. We will have MLB reaction, overreaction, and a top 5 today. Josh has come up with the top 5 people he wants to see me interview at the College World Series.
This is the one everyone's been waiting for.
It really is. And so that's the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Elsewhere on the show today, a couple Nebraska football related topics, including them working out a quarterback yesterday at their post-grad camp. A quarterback? The NAIA National Player of the Year. Interesting. I have an NIL topic that I'd like to bring to the forefront here. A couple things in baseball from last night. Our College World Series take of the day. I have that today. I don't know if this will go beyond today, but I do have a College World Series take of the day.
I believe in you that you can string together three takes of the day.
3 more takes
to get us to the College
But
World
what
Series.
happens if I forget about this bit entirely tomorrow? Bet you didn't put that into account, did you?
We will be talking about the College World Series. So
That's true. Okay, I'll have a take of the day tomorrow and Thursday as well. Before we are all in different locations on Friday. Adrian Martinez is the MVP. He's the MVP of my heart. Always has been.
Always will be.
And now he's the UFL MVP. But is he the starting quarterback for the Birmingham Stallions? Unclear.
I do think that's a little weird.
Unclear.
Hey, you're definitely the MVP of the league. I don't know if there's.
They got some other
I don't know
options.
if you're our starter.
Yeah. So that's fun, and so we'll talk a little bit about that as we go on throughout the show today. Welcome to it. Want to hear from you as always. 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. You can call or you can text that number. We encourage you to do so. Twitter at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the J Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed, or at producer_Josh as well there. You can email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox as well during the show. John emails in on that very same Equitable Bank inbox.
Hello, John.
Irvington is essentially on Blair High Road. If you get off on 30th, you go to Florence. No wonder Gary doesn't know how to get to Wichita.
That's a great email, John.
Great email, John. Yes. Thank you. I don't know. He's trying to place Irvington in the wrong place.
No.
It's not at the Irving. Not at Josh. You know Irvington. You're of Irvington.
Very, very of Irvington.
I know about Irvington.
Good.
I know about Skate Land. No RIP. It's not like a paint store or something like that. That Walmart over there. I remember when that Walmart was built. I was here the day it was born. I know Irvington.
Day one since my birth.
Day one since day one of my birth. Yes, and congratulations to the Florida Panthers who took a 2-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. Will we have 2 sweeps in our basketball and hockey finals?
No.
I think the Oilers outplayed Florida in game 1, but lost, and then they got outplayed last night.
The atmosphere of Edmonton will carry them to win a game, I think.
Okay. Josh believes in Canada.
I mean, the Panthers are going to be distracted by Oilers girl, so
they got to pay her and get her moving. Just put her in the right places. John emails in again.
Hi, John.
Top 5. I'm excited to find out where Mayor Jean falls on Josh's top 5.
These are people that are actually in the city for.
Well, how do you know if these people will be in the city? Have you contacted all the people on your top 5? Mayor Jean will be in the city. She's always here for the World Series.
She is always here where there are cameras present.
She is here for the World Series, at least for a portion of it, Josh.
And then the first weekend goes predictably haywire in the old market, and she has to come out here and wag her finger at everybody.
That's my mayor. Don't slander her, Josh. She's here. She is here. Much like you, much like I. So yes, we will have that coming up during the show. Also, feel free to join us via the stream, YouTube, 1620 The Zone TV. Still available, 1620thezone.com, just one click away, or less than one click away, zonetv.live.
Are you .live-ing?
Have you noticed that zonetv.live, when you go to zonetv.live, the screen, the apparatus that they give you to watch us is like larger on the page? I like how big it is. It's so big. That's what they're saying.
It's how to get the most us.
Yes. So head on over to zonetv.live, and we are streaming for you there as well. Plenty of things to come on the show today. We'll come back, touch on a couple Husker football topics. Got some baseball for you today. Allan Bell join us at the bottom of the hour. It's a Tuesday on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers. We are 1620, The Zone.
Hey kids, what are you getting your ever-loving dad for Father's Day?
I know, a motorized monster truck. How about the new Taylor Swift album? You would love it.
Yeah, I'm sure. How about something from Osted's Golf? Name brand apparel up to 50% off. Strixon balls at crazy deals. And Dad's always loving Osted's gift card.
You have been putting a lot of balls in the water.
Not after my custom fitting. I'm smashing everything.
You're good at that with a monster truck.
Stop Osted's Golf for Father's Day.
The Osted family would really appreciate it.
That's the sound of steak searing in its juices on your new pellet grill. You heard that right. The Weber Searwood Pellet Grill can smoke low and slow at 180 degrees all the way to a high heat sear at 600. With the Weber Searwood, you can cook on the direct flame over the full great sear zone. You'll hear the gasp of amazement from friends and family when you serve the food. Cooking with the Weber Searwood Pellet Grill just sounds delicious and tastes even better.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
It'd be great if life came with a remote control. You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Email us on the Equitable inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can hit me up, agree, disagree, tell me your thoughts on life at Hanley@1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, first things first here. A texter writes in at the 402. I think you inadvertently left Caitlin Clark off your rundown. I apologize. She is actually on there. We're going to have to get to that Caitlin Clark thing today. Did you see what happened to her last night?
Oh, people are mocking her openly.
I know. So it feels like something that we'll just have to finally talk about today.
You forced our hand, America.
Stay tuned. Definitely going to get to that. As you can see, we've changed our attire here. Look at Josh's shirt. Now, Josh, what's your jersey say? By the way, this is a correctly done baseball jersey. The designers here at 1620 The Zone, greater than Nike.
Wow.
All the jerseys that they've made are ass. These jerseys are gas, is what the kids are saying.
There we go.
So, Josh, go ahead, show everybody The Zone, and then turn around. Turn around. Your jersey says your last name, Odson, 16. Oh, why 16? That's interesting. Let's see what mine says.
Just my number.
All right. So mine says The Zone on the front, and then on the back, hold on.
As Connor takes a spin for us, it says Happer, and his number is 20. Why would your number be 20, Happer?
So, Josh, we could do a really cool picture at the Omaha Baseball Village at some point. And
when you grace us with your presence,
we could go back to, we could both turn our backs to the camera like cool guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And yours will say 16 and mine will say 20. And together that equals 1620.
The zone.
The zone. And then we could turn around and do a frontwards and it says the zone, the zone. I like the pinstripe look. My question is, do we have alternates?
Now there's the real question.
And the answer is yes, because everybody in our building will be doing various things during the College World Series. They'll be out there. Maybe they'll have a tiny microphone asking you questions. Who knows? But there are different colors of jerseys. I've seen a purple jersey. I've seen black jerseys. A lot of different stuff going on. And so we got the home whites, which I appreciate greatly.
This is a well done jersey in a world where many jerseys are not well done anymore.
That is exactly right. So once again, our designers here at 1620 The Zone, nice job. Greater than Nike, who stinks.
But Nike only has one job. Our designers have several jobs.
Many jobs. And one of them is not designing baseball jerseys,
that's
but
correct.
They have incredibly done it right. It's amazing. I got a text from upstairs, Josh.
Oh, upstairs.
That's right. Sales guy Buff Josh writes in, need a sales guy Josh jersey. Maybe you would like it to say Buff Josh, or like great. Maybe the number on Buff Josh's jersey is greater than 6 for how many Buffs wins he thinks there's going to be this year.
It's always more than 6.
Always more than 6. It is always more than 6. He had some takes to me about the Royals yesterday. I was like, wow, man. He's enjoying sports. That's good. Josh says, wow, laughing face emoji, by the way, to put a bow on that conversation. So if you see us, looks like you got your wardrobe picked out, Josh, for you at the Village. Which is good.
I'm gonna be looking good.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that means people with free shirts to offer you won't be coming up to you and saying, Josh, you need this free shirt.
Now, I will always alter the wardrobe for a free article of clothing.
Good text here from the 402.
Hi, 402.
Make sure you don't stand in the wrong spot and make it say 2016.
A very fine, totally normal year where nothing odd happened.
That is a very fun possibility that we could potentially use with these uniforms.
It does two things.
It really does. It gives us a take and a promotional item, which is always exactly what you want. So last night, first of all, let's get to the funny part of this, which involved our good dear friend Stephen M. Sipple. By the way, yes, the jerseys are awesome. Thank you, promotion team. Fantastic stuff. We'll be rocking these for sure. So Jalyn Gramstad is a quarterback. He was the quarterback at Northwestern, not Northwestern University, Northwestern College in Iowa, for the last couple of years. He was the NAIA Player of the Year. And as I mentioned yesterday, Nebraska was operating a post-grad camp. So people who have played in junior college or looking for a spot to play in the area, they worked out about 40 kids yesterday. There's a side story to this, which I think is kind of fun as well. But there's two side stories, I suppose. Side story one. So Gramstad working out obviously is interesting, because I don't know if Nebraska is in need for another quarterback. Maybe they are. Get that room filled up a little bit, and this guy has some interesting, bona fides.
We were looking for a quote unquote veteran quarterback who didn't necessarily need to play.
Yeah. And so yesterday, Steve Sipple tweeted out the story. QB Jalyn Gramstad, NAIA Player of the Year, works out Monday at Nebraska camp, with several siren emojis. Jayln Gramstad. And then there was a guy named Nate who is friends with Jalyn who said, that's not how you spell his name.
Oh, okay.
He said doesn't know how to spell QB1's name. And then Sipple
QB1.
That's what he said. And then Sipple doubled down and he said, that's absolutely the correct spelling. Nice try though, big boy.
I can just hear it.
And it turns out that was not that Sipple was indeed wrong, that Nate, the guy on Twitter, was correct. And even after Sipple doubled down, and it's Jalyn, Jalyn Gramstad.
I'm guessing
Sipple took ownership for this later.
Okay. I'm guessing Sipple was so concerned about putting the Y in there instead of an E that he didn't think to put it in the correct spot.
I mean, phonetically, they're both correct,
Yes.
but that doesn't really matter in this situation. Sipple then responded later, you got me on this one. Now I can look forward to your snarky comments for years to come. Prayer emoji, prayer emoji, prayer emoji, prayer emoji, prayer emoji.
Whoa, that's a lot of prayers.
Or a high five. I don't know which one. It's never really been. I think maybe it's a high five. And these two have made up. Nate said, all good. Nah, no snarky comments coming. Be well and enjoy summer. And Sipple said, you do the same.
Wow.
Fist pound emoji. So rarely do you see that these days.
No.
I was amazed that Sipple dug in his heels on the spelling of Jalyn that he eventually got wrong. I mean, you got to be really confident to come back with it and say, hey, look, no, this is right, big boy. Because when you bring out big boy,
oh yeah,
I mean, that is pretty offensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty offensive. So you better make sure you have it right. And Sipple did not in this case, unfortunately. But we stand by our friend Sipple, even though he got that wrong. But that's not the main part of the story. Reigning NAIA Player of the Year, he decided to drive down to Nebraska's post-grad camp, and it sounds like it went kind of well. I mean, people who were there watching said, hey, he got a tour of some facilities. Coaches took a keen eye to the NAIA National Player of the Year, especially when they found out his situation. Shows up on a whim, freshly off of a family vacation, and Nebraska coaches are like, who the hell is this guy? What's going on? It turns out he's the NAIA Player of the Year. He grew up an Iowa fan.
Whoa, hello.
What do you think the Northwestern football coaches, his former or his school, his current school, what do you think those coaches thought when they found out the news that their All-American National Player of the Year quarterback was going to work out at Nebraska to try and maybe be like their backup this year or something like that, or their third string or whatever it might be? How would you have taken that if you were the head coach at Northwestern College in Iowa, Josh?
I mean,
probably not so well.
Don't you raise these kids so that they can one day grow up and leave the nest?
Yeah, but maybe it's a little bit of a surprise
to
them yesterday.
I mean, you would definitely think that, our NAIA quarterback can play at Nebraska. Like,
it's a high honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a high honor, but also maybe you're planning on having that guy there next year.
Sure. In June, you probably would like to have your roster somewhat close to set.
By the way, Aaron on the text line says, alas, big boys usually remember their pants. Also, Sip's been on a heater lately. Also, going back one, Happer's Beam guy writes in, poll question, are these jerseys gas or ass?
I would need a photo of the jersey, so we'll have to...
just no context.
No?
Put it up there.
Okay.
Brett on YouTube says he grew up a Nebraska fan. That's not what I read.
Big boy.
Or no, he grew up in Nebraska. Yeah, no, that actually is right. I'm pulling a Sipple here. No, that's wrong, big boy. That is right. He was a Nebraska fan in Iowa. Okay, that's right. Big boy. Damn it, I should have just kept going with that bit. Yes, he grew up a Nebraska fan in Iowa, and there was all these Iowa fans around, and he was like, I like Nebraska. He's different. But anyway, Nebraska seems mildly interested, and maybe that's an interesting development as it pertains to the quarterback race. Also, I received a text yesterday from somebody who was at the camp, and they were a little curious as to the goings on. There was, like I said, there's about 40 people working out, and most of them have some level of football acumen.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so I got a text yesterday, and there was somebody who was there that was a little curious as to what was going on with one particular player who ended up needing some sort of medical attention at the end, not in a serious way.
I hate to see an injury.
No, I don't think it was an injury. There was some concern amongst some folks that were there that somebody was going through a fantasy football punishment at Nebraska's post-grad camp yesterday. Don't have a lot of details. Just wanted to pass that along.
So
I don't have a lot of details. I don't know much more, but there was some concern that was happening yesterday.
I don't want to condone this, but I love the legwork of let's find a place.
You have to go to a college football camp
where we can not infiltrate, but a place that would have us for a day.
Look, and they're available. You sign up, you go.
I want to be like Mark Wahlberg in that one movie.
You got some eligibility left, and you show up and you work out, see what happens, and then you realize, actually being a college football player is actually kind of hard.
It's hard.
So I don't think that anybody. So Star Wars fan asked, so can anyone do these camps? I don't think anyone can do these camps. I think it's like you're probably in college and you have some eligibility. Like you have to check a couple boxes, but there are fantasy football leagues made up of college. Now, once again, I do not know this to be fact. Might have just been an out of shape guy. I don't know.
Might have just been out of shape.
It might have been. I have no idea.
Sure.
But there was just some concern. There was just some concern in the Hawks Championship Center yesterday that something else was going on. So there's your update from the Nebraska post-grad camp yesterday. A lot of things going on. But I'm interested in this whole Jalyn, Jalyn Gramstad situation. Maybe Nebraska takes him and they can have a little bit more padding in that quarterback room next year. It'd certainly be a good get.
Just a little depth.
Yeah, little help. Just have someone you could put in there right now who's played a little bit of college football, albeit not quite at this level. Before we take a break here, one thing from Kendall Rogers.
Okay, I was going to read that if you didn't. Thank you. Glad we're on the same page.
D1baseball.com. He's been scooping all over the country over the last couple of days. Transfer portal. Yeah, we're set for the College World Series. I'm sure he's excited to be here, but the scoops don't stop. So here's some scoop from Kendall Rogers that applies to us locally. SEMO, Southeast Missouri coach, head coach Andy Sawyers, who is a Nebraska guy, was on the Nebraska staff at one point in time, got SEMO to a regional final this year in Fayetteville, ended up losing to Kansas State, but did take down Arkansas. Andy Sawyers pulled out of the search at Creighton and will remain at SEMO. One new name that I'm told is strongly in the mix for Creighton, former South Carolina head coach Mark Kingston, who was just relieved, last week? And now it seems as if South Carolina is going to hire Paul Maneri, the former LSU coach. Kendall says Kingston has had success in that region before at Illinois State. Once again, Creighton looking for their next full-time, baseball head coach, and that person. The original plan was that person was going to be on the staff this year under Ed Service as he finishes out, and then the reins will be fully that person's next year. But this it seems as if Creighton has maybe been through a variety of different names at this point. They've already lost a couple of assistants to other places, and And it's an interesting situation right now with Creighton baseball. They've lost a lot of guys to the transfer portal at the moment.
Like a lot.
Yeah. So curious to see what happens. And then you got to, go ahead and rebuild the roster as well. All right. Quick time out here. We'll come back. A couple other things from baseball. Of course, we'll get to Allan Bell. I still have a Nebraska football topic. Maybe we'll get to that in the noon hour, our College World Series take of the day. And we got to get to that Caitlin Clark thing.
Don't want to miss it today. We got to make sure we get to it.
All coming on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, swing for the fences this Major League Baseball season with FanDuel, which is America's #1 sportsbook. There's a little thing called Dinger Tuesdays, and you can turn dingers into dollars all season long. Just bet on your favorite player to hit a home run, and FanDuel will give you $5 in bonus bets for every home run hit during that game. So just an example. Let's say you bet Bobby Witt Jr. to hit a home run, but he doesn't. Oh, boo-hoo, sad. But there's other players in that game. Say tonight, the Yankees, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, MJ Melendez. Any of those guys hit a home run, and you get $5 a piece in bonus bets for every home run hit in that game. So yes, home runs just got a little bit better. You're rooting for home runs. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer and get in on the Dinger Tuesday action and bet a player to hit a home run. FanDuel.com/Happer. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 and over, present in Iowa. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus, $25 a game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Tune in to 1290 Coil all season long for your Omaha Storm Chasers baseball as they take on the International League. It's Storm Chasers baseball on 1290 Coil.
Hi, I'm Nick Bermel, owner of Royalty Roofing. The recent storms wreaked havoc on our community. Our team at Royalty Roofing is here to help. We're local, skilled, licensed, and bonded. We work for you to ensure you get the funds you deserve and make sure that the work is done to your satisfaction. Don't take risks with your biggest investment, your home. We are Better Business Bureau Integrity Award winners and Best of Omaha winners. Cover your roof with Royalty. Visit us today at royaltyroofing.org.
Join United Way of the Midlands as they thank our community for their amazing support with a party at the park. Saturday, June 29th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Warner Park. With face painting and balloon animals, a photo booth, a community village, live music, a toothbrush drive, and more, there's something for everyone. Plus, the first 1,000 attendees get a free hot dog lunch. Special thanks to sponsors Election Systems and Software, NP Dodge, Shields, Warner, and Woodman Life. Get all the details at unitedwaymidlands.org.
Like eating out? Like saving money? Then get to Cops at 180th and Center, Shadow Lake Town Center, or 72nd and Jones for their daily specials. Tuesday is $3 off all burgers and sandwiches. Wednesday, buy any specialty pizza and get a one-topping 50% off. Then Thursday, all wings are $1 each when you order 10. And this just in, all Cops locations now offer their own delivery service. Click copspizza.com to see the menu. Cops, pizza, and so much more.
Host is roasting every morning. How does Host Coffee Services provide the best coffee for your workplace? By finding the richest and most robust coffee beans from all around the world and bringing them to our Nebraska roastery, where your coffee is roasted fresh and delivered straight to you.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee Services is always roasting something good for you.
Did you happen to see yesterday in baseball, this day in baseball, that Buster Olney's Twitter account got hacked?
I saw a weird tweet of his. I don't remember what it said, but I remember thinking, well, that's odd.
So it wasn't a hack in the way of like, hey, I'm selling iPads. Just DM me for more info. It wasn't a bot hack like Scott Frost got bot hacked.
Did he? Do we know that though?
Like they weren't looking for anything.
Okay.
This is just a troll, which is amazing. And I think we can kind of trace it back to one specific fan base. You tell me who you think, from which MLB team's fan base you think these tweets came from, Josh.
Okay.
First, yesterday at let me go back in time here.
Okay.
4:17 p.m. or maybe 3:17 our time. I hate Mets. All caps.
That's the one that I saw.
I hate Mets. Second, at 4:30, the New York Mets are finalizing a deal that will send Francisco Lindor to the Oakland Athletics. Sources tell ESPN.
Ooh, that one's written in a way that people would believe it.
Third one, Shohei Ohtani has been banned for life from the MLB in connection to charges with gambling. His trial is on August 28th. It is speculated he could get life in prison. And finally, at 5:12, the season is canceled due to COVID.
Oh, that's an NC State tweet.
There was also one that Luis Robert had got traded to the Phillies from the Chicago White Sox, effective immediately. Also, one more. The Baltimore Orioles are moving to Vegas so the A's could stay in Oakland.
Wow. That's big of them.
Josh, you've thought about this. I've given you the evidence. From which fan base was this tweeted? I don't know that we know this for sure, but I'm almost positive we can get it down to one team.
I'm going to guess that this was a Mets fan.
Interesting guess. My deductive reasoning brought me to the Phillies.
Okay. Oh, because they got
Luis Robert, and they hate Mets.
Well, the Mets hate the Mets too.
But the Mets hate the Mets too. It's a good point.
There are a lot of self-hating Mets fans.
But the Mets have traded Francisco Lindor. Mets fans don't love Francisco Lindor.
They do not.
It's interesting.
And if they did trade him to the Oakland Athletics, they would go, oh, God, typical Mets move.
Yeah. It could be a Mets fan, now that I really think about it. I thought it was the Phillies. I thought it was the Phillies fans. I really like the first tweet. Hey, I have control of Buster Olney's Twitter account. What do I say? I hate Mets.
I can say anything I want here.
I hate Mets. That was what they went with yesterday.
Good tweet.
The biggest story in baseball last night. In fact, let me check this and make sure it's not there anymore.
Oh,
but I went to ESPN's front page this morning and I looked for some storylines that we may have missed. I mean, there was a lot of stuff obviously about Caitlin Clark,
which we're getting to,
which of course we will get to. This is currently the second leading story on ESPN's MLB page. I think this was the biggest thing that happened in baseball last night. Vladimir Guerrero threw his bat and it got stuck in the net for 2 innings and they had to fish it out. And it was a whole adventure. I think that was sports' biggest story yesterday.
No, there was a Stanley Cup final game.
What are they? Well, Dan Hurley, I guess. So I got the Chit Chat channels on right now. They're both talking about Dan Hurley. It's only a matter of time before they start talking about Vlad Guerrero's bat in the net. In case you guys couldn't tell, there ain't nothing going on right now.
For 2 innings?
For 2 innings. They had to spend all this, and they finally found a very long pole, like one that you would use to wrangle an alligator or something like that. That
okay.
it had the little rope on the end of it.
That is a very long pole.
Very long pole. And they got the bat to finally fall down onto the top of the dugout. Glad it didn't fall into the dugout where it would have hit somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Fall on top of the dugout and into the little dugout gutter. There was much celebration when the bat came down.
So it was way up there. Like
it was always toward the top.
Yeah.
Yes. Somehow it got lodged in the net.
A 20-foot adjustable metal rod
Yes.
was used with a hook on the end.
Yep. This was the biggest story in sports yesterday, outside of Buster Olney's Twitter getting hacked and Dan Hurley not going to the Lakers. I think they're discussing right now on the chit chat shows if the what the Lakers will do. Have we heard about the whereabouts of JJ Redick as of this morning?
The two have had minimal contact.
Minimal contact. Wow. Shams is going to end up being so wrong about this.
Shams, now I'm telling you this because, Connor, you won't be able to see this. Shams is on Pat McAfee, and he said, last week the Lakers turned their attention to Dan Hurley, and I'm told it was a Hail Mary offer. Hurley clearly did not want to leave UConn. He took $20 million less to stay at UConn.
Oh, wow. He is doubling down on his reporting there.
Right.
The Shams versus Woj thing rolls on.
It does.
I'm for one incredibly interested.
You sound like someone that's incredibly interested.
Thank you. I am. I really am. I'm glad you could get that through the radio airwaves. All right, quick time out here. We'll come back and we'll have a chat with our good friend Allan Bell. Will he be eating a Ronza within the next 7 days? We can find out next on 1620 The Zone. But speaking of, remember that 1620 The Zone is your official home of the Men's College World Series. You can catch the guys from 1620 The Zone with their pinstripe jerseys on, broadcasting live from the Omaha Baseball Village. Also, of course, you'll hear every pitch, every hit, and every game on 1620 The Zone throughout the series with local 1620 The Zone talent all the way up until the championship series. Find a full schedule of events available for you now, 1620thezone.com.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
It's going to be a cloudy morning, and you may see a stray shower make its way through, but not much that will impact the morning drive. Throughout the afternoon, more sunshine, and we warm up to near 90 degrees. And then tomorrow, we really turn up the heat with a high temperature near 95 degrees. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome to this episode of RV Ready, brought to you by Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs. Mother Nature?
We're getting things ready for everyone to head out camping again.
People should go to leachcamper.com and check out the inventory.
And don't forget,
the coffee's always on.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Gonna feel a puff of air.
Zhang's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell, the AB3, on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we are joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by our good friend Allan Bell, driving the line of the AB3. AB, hello, how are you?
Hello, sir. How we doing?
Good. All right, have we Tennessee's here. Have we made any travel plans for the week?
Yes, I will be there Sunday.
Whoa!
Game 2.
Woo!
So I figure we might as well stay till Tuesday, I guess. Hang around.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
feel free to drop by the Omaha Baseball Village and hang out. I mean, Josh will be there basically the entire time. I'll be in and out. Are you planning on going to any games?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Tennessee will play on Friday and Sunday. I plan on going to the Sunday game.
Yes.
And then man, like we'll talk, we'll text to get it all worked out. But yeah, like definitely gonna swing by, come hang out with you guys.
Hell yes. And you get to try Omaha's finest cuisines, whatever you might be interested in.
Runza time. That's like half the trip. I care more about the Runza than the ball.
You're gonna have to find a Runza.
Get ready to speak Runza, buddy.
I don't know how available they're going to be for you at the College World Series, but are you driving?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'll have access to get to a Runza.
Fret. As long as they open the doors, I'll find one.
Okay.
Don't worry.
You'll be able to find one. This is extremely exciting. Yes. Please let me know where you're going to be, what you're up to, and we'll get together for sure. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait.
All right, so we have our field. We're all set up. Tennessee, your Vols are plus 250 favorites at the moment. As I look at it on FanDuel, we got the number 1 national seed, we got the number 2 national seed, the number 3 national seed, the number 4 national seed, 8 and 12. Like it's all good teams. It's the SEC ACC battle. Like, what are you looking forward to this week?
It is, right? It's like the basketball challenge.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got some really good teams, like you just said, man. I think this thing is wide open. I think anybody can win this. Anyone. Florida could win this. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, how dangerous they were, and look at them. They're here. And it's sweat Clemson, right? So, when looking at the futures, like I was looking at it this morning, and what I ended up betting was Florida State plus 750 and Texas A&M plus 330. Like, if Florida State beats Tennessee in game 1, they have a massive, massive advantage to getting to the championship series, right?
Yes.
And I think, right? Like, and that the only reason Florida State is 750 is because they're playing Tennessee in game 1. If they win, that 750 is going to drop to about 250. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
I'm going to go ahead and put it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put it on that, and then I'm putting it at Texas A&M because I really do think that on that right side. I mean, don't get me wrong. Kentucky, NC State, Florida, good teams. Texas A&M, man, they've been doing this all year. They've had no dips. Like they've consistently been there. They're going to be a tough out.
Yeah, it's
what about you? Like, what are you looking at?
Well, I don't know. I'm starting to pour through numbers and stuff and getting ready. It's very hard to beat Tennessee on paper.
Yep.
But we know this is not played on paper, as you know well.
No.
That first game is really big. I think you make a really good point there. But it's hard for me to look at Tennessee compared to everybody else and say, man, I there's obviously paths to anybody else winning this thing. I think anybody could probably win it. But Tennessee, they look the best on paper.
Let me give you the objective take on Tennessee, because I've seen every single pitch and out they've had this year, right, and years before it. Tennessee is the best team that's there, right? They are. They can hit better than anyone. They can pitch just as good as anyone. I'm not going to say they're better, but their 3 starters are money, right? Like they're very good, and this team can they can just choke you out because they can score so many runs so quickly. I mean, they hit 7 home runs in that last game against Evansville. And I know that it's just Evansville, but they hit 7 home runs against anybody. But the problem is, the Schwab is big, right? Like, it's not a home run park. But that's how every team has gotten here, man. Like, Florida State's the same way.
See,
right?
I wonder about that and for the last couple of years, home runs have ticked up around here. The wind always plays a pretty large factor in what happens at that park. But Allan, I think it's going to play pretty true. Like I think if you're a home run hitting team, and we saw it last year. I mean, Florida hit a record number of home runs last year, and they hit 17 home runs in the series last year. That tied the most in any series ever.
That's crazy.
I think that we could top that number this year. I mean, Tennessee hit 14 home runs in 3 games in the Super Regional, just this last weekend. And I know it's a different ballpark and a different situation, but I mean, I think the ball is still going to go. It's not like 2011 anymore.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. And on that, like, go back and you've seen every game in the Super Regionals and scores and box scores and all that. Like, 10 is the magic number. Like, you're having to score 10 runs to win these games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And not that these teams don't have good pitching, but it's just that it's kind of the opposite of Major League Baseball. Like, Major League Baseball pitching is dominating. These batting averages are horrible, but it's the opposite in college. Man. Like every one of these teams can rake. North Carolina is dangerous. I mean, that team is really good. Virginia, look what they did, right? Like, any one of these teams can go. Like, winning game 1 on Friday or Saturday, whichever your team plays, is going to be a massive advantage, man.
Yeah, there's a stat out there about how many teams have come back after losing their first one, and it's not very many that even reach their bracket championship. So
yeah, what I'm interested in is that all right? So in the regionals, the books, we're kind of like all of us. Like, every year's different. That's what makes it so much fun. That, like, the totals were set early at like 11.5 or 12.5, and they quickly adjusted.
Yeah. They finally realized that this isn't normal baseball; it's college baseball.
Yeah, exactly. And then in Super Regionals, it moved to like 15.5, 16.5. Like, I'm fascinated at like what Tennessee, Florida State, the total's going to be, because I think Tennessee will be a slight favorite, probably like -130, which is almost even. You know what I mean? In college baseball, like, but I'm fascinated what they do with the total. My guess is going to be 14.5, but you can't put it too high because if the wind's blowing in, yeah, you're right.
So I saw this weekend, basically the trend was like you were just hammering overs on everything that you could find.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Everybody ran out of pitching instantly.
Oh, instantly, man. And it was like, every team. I mean, we had games like, Florida State won one game, 21-4 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just that 18-4 NC State, that game 1 against Georgia. I was like, oh my God, NC State has just murdered Georgia. And then Georgia turns around and did it again the next day, So
I know.
Dude, I can't wait.
We didn't get that much drama in the Supers except for that one game that everybody seemed to be watching, that Clemson-Florida game 2. One of the best catches I've ever seen, I think, and we had a couple benches clearing situations, a rando ejection, like we had it all. That was amazing. That was peak baseball right there.
Yeah, you're right. That was the game, and it was crazy that final game between Kentucky and Oregon State. Oregon State was about to win, and they had one hit.
Oh,
like, it was insane. Kentucky's pitching had like 13 walks. It was nuts.
Hey, but Allan, they have to be sick. How would you feel if, the run that cost them their season was a run that should not have scored?
Yeah.
They just didn't cover home plate. A guy scored from second base, and that ended their season.
It's brutal. And, like, I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Tennessee's coach, Tony Vitello, where he was just going off.
Oh, yeah.
No reason.
He had a 6-minute hype speech. It was great.
Yeah, it was crazy. And, like that goes into, like, the stress of these games and the players and coaches, because I say it on our show all the time, like, for people who are brand new and really just never watched college baseball, I'm like, it's the greatest sport ever. I was like, but you're going to cut years off of your life betting it. Like, in a moment, like, insanity. Think about Oregon. against Texas A&M in Game 2. Oregon's up 8-4 going in the 7th inning. They leave the 7th inning down 13-8. Like,
amazing.
What the hell, man?
Just a gigantic meltdown. I like the shirt that you have available. Legalized college props. This is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, go to drivingtheline.com. You can check it out, man. Yeah, like I think that this is the political take that all of us can agree upon. We've basically got two of them. One, Arby's super underrated. Two, legalized college props. It's time, America.
Oh, man. Okay,
Democracy is on the line.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Are you going to, do you have any other plans for your time in Omaha? Or are you just like an open book? Like, is there anything that you want to see, need to see, want to do?
No, I'm open book. And, like, I'm glad that you just said that because I was going to ask you, like, at the very end. Like, and it doesn't have to be answered now. Like, it could be just, like, tweeted at me whenever, right? Like, I'll get it.
Okay.
Just things that, like, I need to see. And, like, whether it's, like, let me tell you, like, I love history. If you've got a house that some family that started Nebraska, like, whatever, like, I'll go check it out. Or if it's, like, a cool bar or anything, man, like, I'm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were having
has anything that's super popular, not so popular, like, please hit me. Like, I'll go check it out.
We were having a discussion earlier of like us locals basically profiling people and saying like, okay, you look at them and say, all right, where do you need to go? You're a tough one because I think you could fit in with any crowd. You could be the dress up, like I want to go to a nice place with a nice cocktail, or you can like, put your giant sunglasses on, let the hair hang out the back and no shirt underneath. Like, I think you could do both.
Yeah, I plan to do all of those. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. And let me tell you, all right, I don't know if the Jello shot record is going to be broken this year, but what I will tell you is this. Tennessee fans are coming. You're going to see a lot of them, a whole lot of them. And, yeah, like that they'll get loud, like in local restaurants or bars and stuff, but super kind people. Hold the door. They'll talk to you for 20 minutes.
Oh, I think Nebraska fans, Nebraskans and Tennessee people will, as they have before, they will handshake and say, you know what, I think we have a lot in common.
Yes.
I want to say this. The last couple of years, so they've been here, 2 of the last 3 years, and like I always feel like they're a favorite to have everybody show up and kind of take over the town. Hasn't really happened yet. So I maybe they have something to prove this week.
Well, I'll tell you, the tough part is they don't get to make it out of the first weekend.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Like, if they could get past the first weekend, I'm telling you, you will have the economy will go through the roof. They'll buy everything. You know what I mean?
I'm a little concerned about Kentucky. I think Kentucky is they're going to bring Big Blue Nation up here pretty strongly.
The Blue Mist will show up. The Kentucky fans will show up. They'll be rowdy. You'll have a good time with them. Kentucky fans are good people. They're a lot of fun, especially it being their first one ever. Yeah, man, they're going to show up. It's going to be great. Like, who was the team last year? Stanford. That you're like, there's just not going to be a lot of Stanford. Like, I don't think that we have any team like that won't bring fans. Florida will bring a ton of fans. Texas A&M will bring 1 million fans. Like, it's going to be good for the economy. Seriously, like,
we are very excited for our local economy this year. We don't there's no like small college. It's it's big time, and it'll feel more big time. That's for sure. It'll be a competitive field. All right, Allan. So, all right, good luck getting up here. Just stay in contact, and we'll get you in the right place.
I love it, man. I'll text you guys. And, anybody out there, please tweet me. Let me know things I need to do. I'm all ears, man. I appreciate you guys.
See you, AB. Talk to you soon.
See you, bud. Bye-bye.
Allan Bell, driving the line. Oh, boy. I didn't think we were going to get that, Josh.
A bit of an upset if we can peel the curtain back.
I didn't know we were going to get that. Because Allan said, how he wants to make it to Omaha over the last couple of years. And it's like, Tennessee there, I got to go. And then he's like, yeah, I'm coming. I'll be up there. I'm like, whoa, hello.
Busy guy, made time in his schedule for us.
Hell yes.
Now we got to do right by him and give him only the best places to go.
Yeah, we got to get him to the homie. Got to get him to the homie or Alpine Inn or Surfside, one of those places. And then send him downtown and get him a nice cocktail.
Yeah.
Maybe that's on fire or something like that.
History guy.
What do we have?
Maybe like the Sack Museum?
Gerald Ford's house?
Yeah.
Gerald. Have you ever been to Gerald Ford's house?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I've seen the sign.
The sign is very prominent.
Yes.
You would think that was the only thing in Omaha. Gerald Ford's birthplace. I don't think that I want to send him there because I can't vouch for it.
Poll question up at Happer Show. Have you been to Gerald Ford's birthplace?
Or okay, hold on. What if you did like, can you vouch for Gerald Ford's birthplace? No, have you been is fine.
Okay.
Have you been is fine. We'll start with that. I mean, there's a lot of Omaha history out there. Obviously, thank you, Kenneth. Of course there is. We have the Durham, we have museums, we have things like that.
Sure.
But like specific landmarks that we would send people to, I hadn't really thought about it from the historic side. We of course have Gerald Ford's birthplace.
Of course.
If you're interested.
People forget.
Ethan tweets. So that poll question is up, by the way, at Happer Show. Ethan tweets in.
Hi, Ethan.
Tennessee plays in a high school park, 320 corners, 360 alleys, 390 dead center. That home run number is cool until you realize the size of the park they play at. Hey, guys. They're going 40 feet over the fence. Like, I get it. I get it. Trust me.
Connor Happer is president of Tiny Baby Ballpark Association.
I have seen a lot of games at the Chuck, and a lot of games where the wind is blowing in, a lot of games where the wind is blowing out. I'm telling you, it's a gettable park down the lines.
It's not your big brother's Chuck anymore. Like when nobody would hit a home run in this ballpark.
You can, I mean, if you stay in the bullpen to the line, those balls are going. It doesn't matter if the wind's coming in. It doesn't affect it at all. Down the lines, it's gettable. That's why you see all those balls out on Mike Fahey Street or in the second deck of the Ballad over there across the street. In the power alleys, it's hard. In dead center, it's almost impossible still. But there ain't many home runs going to dead center anyway. These guys are hitting tanks. I mean, there wasn't very many baseballs that scraped the wall over the weekend that were home runs.
Right.
We're talking about 40 feet over the fence here. So I think they're going to go.
Those poor trees in Athens. There's 11,000 baseballs in there.
Yeah, you're not going to find those baseballs. The frat house has got a couple windows that are missing. These things are going, man. So that'll lead us to the CWS take of the day later on in the show.
Hello.
So there's a tease for you there.
Tease.
But first, Josh has the odd news on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
Funplex has asked me to give you a first-hand account of the all-new for 2024 Wipeout attraction.
Okay, hit it.
We're starting up. Spinning a little now. Whoa, a lot.
The centrifugal force is starting to stretch my face. Holy this thing's fast. Whoa, it's tilting. We have tilting. Woohoo, this is awesome. You got to try this. Get your tickets now at fun-plex.com.
Join United Way of the Midlands as they thank our community for their amazing support with a party at the park. Saturday, June 29th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Warner Park. With face painting and balloon animals, a photo booth, a community village, live music, a toothbrush drive, and more, there's something for everyone. Plus, the first 1,000 attendees get a free hot dog lunch. Special thanks to sponsors Election Systems and Software, NP Dodge, Shields, Warner, and Woodman Life. Get all the details at unitedwaymidlands.org.
If you're planning on popping the question this year, now is the time to buy the engagement ring at Greenberg's and receive 20% off a men's or ladies' wedding band during Greenberg's Wedding Band Extravaganza. And you'll be entered to win a free honeymoon with airfare and hotel included. Heck, even if you already have your engagement ring, Greenberg's will still give you 20% off a his or her wedding band and enter you to win the free honeymoon. Greenberg's has a stunning wedding band selection from Love Story, Crown Ring, Benchmark, and M-Fit, with 20% off for a very limited time. 20% off wedding bands and potentially a free honeymoon during Greenberg's Wedding Band Extravaganza. Like I said, now is the time to buy that engagement ring and wedding band from Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest. Westroads Mall. Some restrictions apply.
When it comes to concrete repair, Everlevel has some serious game. Coach Greg McDermott here to coach you on why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. They've got the fundamentals to fix your cracked and uneven concrete, and their products will give you the best defense against future damage. It's a fraction of the price compared to replacement, and their solutions come with a long-term transferable warranty. Working with Everlevel is a slam dunk. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today for your free inspection.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's deal is for two $25 gift vouchers for the price of one for Ramona's Mexican restaurant in the historic Florence neighborhood. Known for their famous deep-fried burritos, their beast of a cheeseburger, and their Indian tacos. Don't forget their popular fresh, homemade, hot, and mild sauces. That's Ramona's Mexican restaurant.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com. The 2024 Men's College World Series plays here on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. Presented locally by Woodhouse Ford. Every pitch, every hit, every game. Also brought to you by Patera Landscaping, Pinnacle Bank, and Cubby's Convenience Stores. Don't miss a minute of Omaha's biggest event, the 2024 Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Didn't want this to go unrecognized from Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth.
It's good for the economy. Helps everybody. Hurts nobody. Thank you, President B, for that good meme. I almost forgot about that one. Thank you.
People
Kenneth.
do forget.
Yes, our economy is going to be 2 thumbs up. Very nice.
Let's hope.
And we were just talking about how expensive hotels are.
Oh, yeah.
Council Bluffs is even going to get some residuals off this.
I mean, oh, yeah. I'm sure there's a trickle over.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The poll question's up at Happer Show, by the way. Have you been to Gerald Ford's birthplace? So please vote. I'd really like to know. Also, we got a tweet here that we're going to need some help with from Jeremiah at Pie Beats Cake.
Listen up, everybody. We need help with this one.
I'll take the dude to the Burger King on base, but I wanted an Impossible Whopper and extra zesty sauce, baby. Now, there's got to be at least one spell check or autocorrect in there. Yeah. I don't know what Burger King on base is. And I don't know if he meant to say wanted instead of just want. Like maybe he's saying he'll take Allan to Burger King, but he wants an Impossible Whopper with extra zesty sauce, baby. That would make sense. But there's a couple words in there that are throwing us off.
Mm-hmm. Try again, Jeremiah.
It's okay.
We want to understand.
All right, Josh. It's the odd news. What do we got?
We begin with, again, I will stress to everyone, I think Charles Barkley is unaware of what his contract language states. He has another year to work at TNT.
Yes.
Doing inside the NBA. They have the NBA next year. But he was on ESPN and ABC's coverage of the Stanley Cup Finals last night. Again, and earlier this week said he would not work for ESPN because he does not like them or the way they present a sports debate show.
Yeah.
But he was at the Florida Panthers game. He stepped into the booth with Steve Levy, Mark Messier, and PK Subban on the first intermission. He then said the thing he's been saying for months now.
What, the F word?
No, well, he did say that with the local guys.
Yeah.
I forget which Edmonton or Florida, which broadcast, but he did say the F word on one of those broadcasts. But on ESPN, he said, I wish I had a job next year. He does have a job next year.
So can I say this about Chuck? I think he knows exactly what he's doing. And
that is more likely. Yes.
He's just publicly putting pressure on his employer to do something that they don't want to do. And because he knows that they're not going to do it, he's just going to continue to shame them.
Yes.
Which I fully support.
And
I fully support all of this.
The back half of that quote would lead us to believe that you are correct, Connor. Listen, I wish I had a job next year. I'm on LinkedIn. I put on my resume. They're like, you've never had a real job. I said, that's not my fault. There's no way Charles Barkley knows how to work LinkedIn.
He's not on LinkedIn.
He's not. If you see Charles Barkley on LinkedIn, that is not Charles Barkley. Don't talk to that person.
Let's just do a quick search real quick. Charles Barkley, LinkedIn. Charles Barkley, professional basketball player. Professional basketball player at Philadelphia 76ers. So this has clearly been made within the last 24 hours. About in the about section. Should I try to connect with him, by the way?
This should be good. Oh, yeah, you definitely should. Are you on LinkedIn, Connor?
Yeah.
Why? Just out of curiosity. I'm not judging.
I don't know. I felt like I could. I felt like I should.
Okay.
It's not a recent thing. I've been on here for a while. I don't do anything on there.
Sure.
I just get unwanted notifications always.
Okay.
About Charles Barkley on LinkedIn. Sweet Home, Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet Home, Alabama. Lord, I'm coming home to you.
That's terrible.
You could have done a lot better in the about section for the person who made this fake Charles Barkley.
Yeah, you could have
LinkedIn
put like
account.
Avid gambler, social butterfly.
Yeah. There's another one for Charles Barkley that lists him as a professional basketball player at NBA. That one doesn't even have a profile picture.
We have received an update from Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, what's your tweet mean, Jeremiah?
You nailed it and cleaned it up great.
Thank you.
I find the base burger at Burger King to be great. Sorry for the confusion. Voice to tweet as I'm launching kayak on this beautiful day. Like to listen while fishing.
Thank you, Jeremiah, for listening while fishing. I appreciate that. And he's launching kayak.
That sounds like a metaphor for pooping.
I'm launching kayak.
I got to go launch a kayak.
Yeah. Charles Barkley not on LinkedIn, guys. And he knows what he's doing. Don't worry.
We now go to Vegas, where, the Sphere. Everybody loves talking about the Sphere. We love going to shows at the Sphere.
Our guest in 1 hour was at the Sphere last weekend.
That's right. Madison Square Garden Entertainment, who runs the Sphere. That's right. That's a James Dolan property that you all rave about.
All right.
He has permanently banned a concert goer credited with first to rip a bong hit inside the Sphere.
Oh, cool.
During a Fish concert on April 20th. Gee, whoever would have guessed that would have happened.
Yeah.
Video of the individual smoking out of a bong prior to a Fish concert.
Bong boys.
At the venue in Las Vegas was shared on Fish fan sites and quickly went viral, while the individual became something of a folk hero. MSG, the owner of Sphere, didn't seem to think the video was as funny. As a result, the individual is hereby indefinitely banned from attending events at the Sphere and other Madison Square Garden venues.
James Dolan loves banning people.
He does.
It's his favorite thing. Charles Oakley and now Bong Guy.
Bong Guy. Also, hey, if you invite Fish over to your house, you got to know the drugs will be involved.
There's going to be some bongs.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
that's on you.
I mean, he doesn't have to videotape it.
Right.
I don't think it was the bong that was particularly the problem. It was just the videoing of the bong.
Okay.
Right? Because you don't want to send the message out there to other people. Hey, look, we're a bong-friendly arena.
That's right.
As long as you do it on the DL, keep it to yourself, you can bong away.
We'd rather bing bong than bong.
Exactly. That's what James Dolan's saying.
Finally, we end in Florida.
As we do.
Lady Lake, Florida. A Florida man has found himself behind bars after he was allegedly caught walking around in the nude. Rolf Braun, that's the human being's name, 73 years young, was arrested and charged with exposure and resisting arrest after the incident that unfolded at an RV park Sunday afternoon. Shortly before 1:30, police responded to the RV park in reference to a male walking in the nude. A couple of witnesses said a man later identified as Braun was allegedly walking around the front of his RV completely nude. An officer made contact with Braun at his camper. Braun answered the door wearing a T-shirt as shorts with his genitals exposed through the neck part of the T-shirt.
Wow. That's quite the image, isn't it?
It is. He became uncooperative as he was being taken into custody.
And that's his RV. That's his house.
That's his house. But officers were able to handcuff him. And here's where it gets weird.
Oh.
During the arrest, Braun told police there's nude beaches in Florida, so he can be nude in this neighborhood.
What do you think?
I think
Does he have a point?
I think he's probably wrong on that one.
Yeah, but like, I mean, he's at an RV park. I mean,
that's not a nude beach.
No, but he's at an RV park and he's right next to his RV. He's just kind of, walking out in the morning. I mean, it's
Connor, you cannot take your trash cans from to put them at the end of your driveway in the nude just because it's your house.
Yeah, I can't and I won't.
You can't just go get your paper.
But I don't want to be arrested if I do. I think this falls under under like the HOA, like this is, let's keep this one in-house. We don't have to involve law enforcement on this one.
I would tend to agree with that. Like,
thank you.
Hey, put some clothes on, my guy. If we have to come back here, you're in trouble.
Aaron writes in, this is a very Florida story.
It is.
Chris in Montana writes in, only in Florida. I don't know. Naked guys are everywhere, man.
Poll question?
Naked guys at RV parks, especially. I bet if you go to an RV park right now, you'd be like, oh, what's that guy doing? Why is he naked?
He's just going to go to the swimming hole.
Good comment from Joe-Yo on YouTube.
Hi, Joe-Yo.
Can we please change this to odd news with slap nuts?
Oh, I would be honored.
We cannot forget that Jeff Jarrett called you slap nuts.
It happened. You can't take it away. No matter what else I achieve in life, that ranks near the top.
Pretty good. Kenneth writes in.
Hi, Kenneth.
Everyone has a naked neighbor, and if you don't, that means that you are the naked neighbor. Right?
I do have a neighbor that works outside a lot.
Have you ever been outside naked at all? It's a very disarming feeling.
Nothing comes to mind. No,
I think I have.
I would assume I have.
Not in public,
right?
But I don't think that Florida man at the RV park was in public either.
Well, it's a public RV park. I mean,
yeah, but it's
like a campground.
That's where he's living. I'm going to say this is okay. I'm going to say this is okay. Now, Ed writes in, he has a good point. No one wears their T-shirt as shorts by accident. That is the part where you're probably like, yeah, he was trying to do something here. And that is a bit incriminating.
His T-shirt as shorts.
Yeah.
With it hanging out through the neck hole.
See, he was trying to do something there. And that's where you get into trouble with the law. All right. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is indeed the odd news. MLB reaction, overreaction is coming at the bottom of the hour. Also, Josh's top 5 people that Connor should interview at the College World Series is coming.
I want you to go 5 for 5 this year.
But coming up, well, they all have to be here, but I'll try. Coming up next, I would like to talk to you about NIL. Not to donate to 1890 or anything like that, but just I want to get some things straight on the other side. It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Grandpa Dave here from Osted's Golf, helping the grandkids get their dad the perfect gift for Father's Day.
Thanks for your help, Grandpa. Dad wasn't thrilled with the candy that we got him last year, but we sure liked it.
Okay, kids, save up to $200 on clubs from TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, or Ping. We're up to 50% off name brand golf apparel. Buy 2 dozen Strixon balls, get 1 free. And dads love Osted's gift cards.
Papa, we need a bigger allowance.
Talk to your dad.
Shop Osted's Golf for Father's Day.
Hi, I'm Nick Bermel, owner of Royalty Roofing. The recent storms wreaked havoc on our community. Our team at Royalty Roofing is here to help. We're local, skilled, licensed, and bonded. We work for you to ensure you get the funds you deserve, make sure that the work is done to your satisfaction. Don't take risks with your biggest investment, your home. We are Better Business Bureau Integrity Award winners and Best of Omaha winners. Cover your roof with royalty. Visit us today at royaltyroofing.org.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
For the second year, the Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion has roared into our state, and the excitement is throttling up. Until June 24th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play and Double Play. Enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 Nebraska winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship weekend, plus a shot at $1 million. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Pat McAfee show's on the big TV today, and it appears as if AJ Hawk is talking.
Whoa!
He's at the very least engaged.
Breaking news.
Wow, it really is June, isn't it?
Yeah.
That guy got a couple words in.
He's got to stretch for time, and
he's back to not talking now,
Yeah,
so
okay,
you missed
cool.
it. It's like a comet. It's like a shooting star.
What does he do over there?
He just sits there and smiles with his fake books in the background.
Does he have the best job in sports?
I mean, Pat takes care of his guys,
Yeah.
so he's definitely getting paid pretty good.
No, he's never.
He doesn't have to be there though. Like if he's ever gone, he is just not there, and the show goes on exactly the same.
Right. Like Pat McAfee show it's very popular, so now they're on the road. Like they were at that weirdo soccer tournament.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. AJ Hawk was not there, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't go to like
like when they go out, he doesn't zoom in on the
every Friday they're at wherever college game day is. I don't.
I think he's at those.
Okay.
I think he's at those.
Okay.
But I don't. Who knows? It's like he's a ghost. I have no idea where he ever is. All right. Still have MLB Overreaction coming up And Josh's top 5 people I should interview. Also, Jacob Bigelow will join us at 1, and our College World Series take of the day. And of course, we'll have time today, I think, to get in on that Caitlin Clark story.
Plenty of room. Nothing happened last night. It's June 11th. We will get to Caitlin Clark.
So we brought you that that quote last week from Mr. Yogurt about how he was talking about what's going to happen with the antitrust thing and NIL, and I think we parsed through a lot of it. But one of the things that he said that I was certainly interested in, because I don't think that we've actually seen people put real dollar, and maybe this is not a real dollar figure, but like ballpark dollar figures. What are you actually working with as it pertains to NIL? But obviously, Mr. Yogurt was talking to the NIL people, and so he felt like he could say that out loud and say, our war chest is less than $10 million. It's less than what Washington was working with last year for their national championship team. And it's certainly a whole lot less than Oregon and Ohio State, who are competing for national championships and have $20+ million rosters right now at their fingertips. And so I think that caught a lot of people by surprise, but he said it, and it gives you a pretty good ballpark. And I've seen a lot of the discourse about the quote and NIL over the last few days. And I don't want to speak for everybody, but I do think you see this because what some people want is they want Nebraska to compete with everybody else and look at what these other schools are doing. Why can't we be that way? Why can't we do this? And this kind of leads back to what I brought you the Monday after Nebraska baseball lost in the regional. I said, hey, look, there's some hard truths about this thing.
You love telling people hard truths.
I say what needs to be said, Josh.
That's right.
And I do think there is a ceiling on what Nebraska can do from a variety of different perspectives. But I do think they're doing the best they can. I really do. And so when Nebraska's got a $10 million or about a $10 million war chest for their NIL, and we're talking about right now, by the way, we're not talking about in 3 years when everything's in-house. I do think that helps Nebraska quite a bit because it levels the playing field, as I've said before. Right now in this current landscape, Nebraska's got a $10 million war chest, about a $12 million war chest, and Ohio State and Oregon, who are national championship contenders, they have $20+ million rosters. First of all, I don't think Nebraska has a roster that you would say, pay that roster $20 million. You know what I mean? I think that's a part of this too. So it's a bit of a chicken or the egg thing. But I also don't think it would be hard for all that Nebraska has with its facilities and its support and all of that stuff. It would be hard with Nebraska's population and the size and the scope of their fan base to continue to have all of that, everything you already have, plus the top level NIL support. Nebraska has great support. They have always been a program where they have great support and they can get great support. I don't think they have elite. I shouldn't say support. I don't think they have. I don't know if the program has ever been outside of the literal attendance. Now we're talking about non-football field stuff, like infrastructure, facilities, donations made to your athletic department, and now NIL. And there's more that goes into that too. Obviously, things that staff, all that stuff. I think Nebraska has always been just as good as they need to be in that category. I don't know that it's ever been elite. Even when the program was at its best, I don't even know that it was. Now there was more edges back then. There was more spaces where Nebraska could do things because of their support that other programs, even in their own conference, just weren't doing because they didn't have that support available to them. So there was more edges back then. But, in this day and age in college football, there's only a few programs out there that have the right setup to where they can have all of those things. And I just don't know that Nebraska's one of them. And so what does that say about their ability to win? Nothing. They can win. They can win. They're just going to have to be better in other areas. Like what Nebraska is betting on right now is that Matt Rule is going to be the best coach in the country. He's going to be elite at identifying and developing talent and not necessarily having to go pay X player, wide receiver, $5 million to come here in NIL money. Like what Nebraska is banking on is that they can have an elite roster and they can develop an elite roster and retain an elite roster without having the same things that Ohio State has, that Oregon has, that Alabama has, that, whatever SEC school have at their fingertips, because Nebraska just doesn't have the wide and deep depth of donors and NIL supporters that all those schools have. It comes down to like a population issue, I think. But like I said, Nebraska can even the playing field by being elite in other areas. So it doesn't it's not a black and white equation. It's not, hey, look, Nebraska has a $10 million, pool of money that they have at their fingertips. Ohio State has a $25 million, pool of money at their fingertips that they can use. And therefore Nebraska's not trying as hard and Nebraska needs to invest more. No, like I said, there are other equations, there are other addition and subtraction problems that go into the giant equation of winning football games. It doesn't just come down to that. Is it easier for those schools to win at that elite level with having max support on everything? Yes, of course. They have great infrastructure. They have great facilities. They have great coaching staff. They have great NIL support, and they have great donor, whatever it might be. They have all of it to the max. Nebraska just has to scratch and claw and find edges where they can be better in areas where they can't physically be as good as some of the other schools that are out there in the country. Does that make sense?
It does. Connor, you're not going to like this tweet, but I do want to read this tweet.
Yeah.
It's from Chris. I think Nebraska is equal to what the Tampa Bay Rays are in Major League Baseball. That's how they're going to have to compete.
Yeah. I mean, that's right. While I hate applying it to college, I love the Rays. Applying it to college, I love the Rays. I don't like what the Rays are doing because they live in Major League Baseball where everybody has a lot of money and you're getting a lot of attendance and they just choose not to do it. And then they make everybody think, that not re-signing players is a good thing, But if you take the general theory of what the Rays are doing, which is what have the Rays been the best at? Developing pitchers over the years. And then when they get to that point, there's no trades in college football. When they get to the point where they feel like they are going to have to pay the guys soon, they trade them and they get more developable pitchers, right? Yes, that's what Nebraska's going to have to be. The way it is currently. But going forward, if we're talking about, max salary caps and $20 million and that changes and that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, I would expect Nebraska to have the ability to compete in that zone. Maybe not the full, whatever it might be, but it does level the playing field a little bit, just as leveling the playing field and creating a salary cap for Major League Baseball would change the sport of baseball as well.
Boy, this sounds like a graphic idea for me.
Oh, what's this? What?
Matt Rule's Moneyball, which is a great film.
Yeah, Josh, I got a text last night. It was a little early from you, Josh.
It was.
I got a text from Josh that said Moneyball still rules. I'm like, hell yeah, it does. I don't want my guys paying for soda.
Welcome to Oakland, DJ.
But yeah, I mean, Nebraska is elite in a variety of different areas. I should say Nebraska is great in a variety of different areas. They are at the very least like if the world of college football is a neighborhood, they have a nice house in the neighborhood. They look the same as a variety of other houses that are out there. They look better than a variety of other houses, but they don't have the nicest house in the neighborhood, and they won't. So you have to renovate your house. You know, you have to, like, maybe your house is the house with the pool, and everybody wants to go to your house. The nice house doesn't have the pool. Your house has the pool. Like, Nebraska needs to find their edges where they can, and I think what they're banking on in this current iteration of college football is to be better at everyone else, be elite. When Matt Rule talks about elite, be elite at identifying, developing, and retaining talent.
Control what you can control,
be
right?
Better at that than anybody in the country, and not, you're going to have a roster without a whole bunch of 5-star talent. Like, you're not the Yankees, you're the Rays. And that's okay. Like, and maybe the Rays is a bad example because everybody looks at them and they have low payroll. Like, Nebraska's not low on the scale of college football, but the gap is just the same.
Maybe a nice
the gap is just
size market.
Yeah. It's just, frankly, it's just a lot easier to compete if you are Ohio State. It just is. And so Nebraska has to find ways where they don't have to be like Ohio State, because there's some things that they just can't do. So they have to do it a little bit differently, not in the style of offense or anything like that. But they have to be better than Ohio State in some areas to make up for what they're never going to be as good as them at. Does that make sense? And so I think, like, for those of you who are sitting there and are like, well, what the hell? Nebraska's got $10 million NIL war chest, and we're talking about competing in the same world where the size of Ohio State's is 2 to 2.5 times yours. How could we do that? Like I said, there's other pieces of addition and subtraction that go into that equation that Nebraska just needs to be better at. Michael writes in on the text line. He says, I'd say we are more like the Detroit Lions. We have some skill players who ball, i.e. Trey Palmer to Megatron. We get lucky every 10 years, and the rest of the time fans want to wear paper bags with eyes cut out of their heads. Yeah, maybe that's what Nebraska's been in terms of results. But I mean, so much of it is just infrastructure and the support that you get and the NIL, and you have to be commensurate to your opponents, and you have to be commensurate to the people that are in your neighborhood. You have to be the same as them, at least. Nebraska's checking all of those boxes. But are they going to go out and to continue the baseball, like continue the Moneyball connection? Like, are they going to be the team that signs Giambi? Are they going to be the team that gets Damon at the end of the year? Are they the Yankees? No. So they're going to find a different way. They're going to Moneyball it.
Who's the Miguel Tejada of the roster?
Miguel Tejada, famously not mentioned a whole lot in that movie.
No.
Same with Mark Mulder and Barry Zito and Tim Hudson.
Yeah.
All of which were on that team.
I don't think they mentioned Mark Mulder at all.
It factors into this too. Like, Josh, like, Nebraska can have good players. What they wanted to tell you in that movie was that the A's didn't have any good players and they just mathed it. It's not true. Nebraska can have good players.
It's allowed.
As well as mathing them. And so that's where they're going to have to make up some of their deficits.
My wife asked me yesterday while I was watching Moneyball, she said, "Is this legal?" Yes.
Still is. Still is. Still people doing it. That's for sure. It's just harder now because there's more people doing it. Quick phone call here from Randy on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. Hey, Randy, what's going on?
I guess I relate this because I was growing up as a parent, and my kids in their teenage years. I'd rather have they're giving their friends and their groups. They had choices of where to go. They could hang out at any of the parents in their 15, 20 groups. So what do you do as a parent? You put a pool in your backyard. You have air hockey. You have pool. You have a ping pong table. In your basement. You make it so that you're the attractive place that people want to go to.
Yep.
it's the same thing. This is Nebraska just needs to be that attractive place that, if everything else even, there's other things for them to do, even if everybody may see Lincoln as, the corn town, nothing to do. They need to make sure that these players have things to do, and it's not out robbing liquor stores, but but I'm saying they need to have things for all these players to attract them, beyond the football field. This is the academics and the tutoring that they get. This is I haven't heard of another place that has the assistance, the educational assistance that Nebraska has. How many academic All-Americans do we have? Those are the types of things that when you're in the living room with mom and dad, those things are going to hit home too. So.
Yeah. I think, Randy, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I think that's a good analogy. Like maybe we could even tweak it a little bit more. Like, so let's say you're in the nice neighborhood and, obviously there's a bunch of pools in that neighborhood. I don't know what the pools represent in this conversation. There's a bunch of pools. Your pool's going to be just as good as everybody else's pool. It's an important feature to the house. But like maybe you don't have the funds that some of your neighbors have to have, like I said, to have everything that they have. So what's your attraction? And I think that's the way that Randy put it. Maybe it's a popcorn popper.
Ooh. Maybe
if your neighbor had a popcorn popper in his basement, it wouldn't matter how nice his house was. I'd be there because it's a popcorn popper. Mm-hmm. And maybe Nebraska's equivalent to that is the support they give their student athletes or the ability to develop them, whatever it might be.
You go down the street and, maybe Ricky's parents let you have a beer and you're not supposed to.
Yeah. I don't know
how are we to contend with that?
Yeah. Ross writes in on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Ross.
Says there's no salary cap coming to college football. You can't and won't limit outside compensation, not going away. Hey, by the way, they're only in semantics, right? So there's a salary cap for the student athletes from what they get paid from the university. But guess what? NIL ain't going anywhere.
Right.
It's just going to be another opportunity for the Ohio States to continue to expand and stuff like that. Like if you have the money, then you're going to put it to the program, and if you have the people, you're going to be able to have the money to continue to help your program along. Like NIL in the beginning will go back to what it was originally intended to be, but it ain't going to stay that way. It's going to continue to be more assets on top to be able to pay your roster, right? So they get paid from the university for playing football, but also for being here and for their name, image, and likeness, right?
Yes.
So yeah, Ross.
Name, image, and likeness.
We love name, image, and likeness. We get a couple texts that we can get to on some comments that we can get to on the other side here. But let's take a quick break. MLB reaction, overreaction, also coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The bottom line is, for 6 months of YouTube TV, 5 of Prime Video, 1 month each of Peacock, ESPN Plus, and Netflix, comes to a grand total of $506.86. And then if you want to add the Sunday ticket, you're looking at $855 if you want access to every single NFL game played this season.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Temperatures into the 80s this afternoon with clear skies. We might squeeze out our first 90-degree day of the year, and if we don't get it today, tomorrow we'll start in the 60s and then get to that 90-degree temperature in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620, The Zone.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
It's golf season, and that means it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa. It's sports betting the way it should be. The odds makers with the lowest holds and the best odds for every tournament. Plus, high betting limits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Get ready for all the biggest golf tournaments with Circa Sports Iowa. Visit circasports.com today. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Looking for tickets to the hottest events? Look no further than Tickets for Less. TFL has tickets to everything from the college baseball championships to Husker football concerts and more, all with no hidden fees. Plus, score extra savings with promo code THEZONE now at ticketsforless.com.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
John's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
One follow-up here. Swift says on the text line.
Hi, Swift.
I think what's tough is that certain media members have said we have a top-tier NIL collective. And when you hear we aren't close money-wise compared to the other schools' collectives, I feel like fans have been misled. I agree. We are just limited, and that's okay to say. I think that's pretty well said.
Yeah.
And I do think at the beginning of NIL, what they were referring to, what media members or people were referring to, was that Nebraska really had their bleep together. They were really organized.
They were ready for it.
They were ready for it. But they were never going to have the same amount of funds available to them, just because of where it is and the amount of people that you have at your disposal. So once everybody got their bleep together, it leveled out pretty quick. And yes, I think it's definitely okay to say out loud, it doesn't make Nebraska any worse than any other program that is fighting for a college football playoff spot. It does make it a lot more difficult on them than the schools that I mentioned, like Ohio State and Oregon, and that's specifically in the Big Ten. Hell, USC would probably be in here if they won a game. Michigan, Michigan probably less so. Texas, Alabama, Florida. The kind of haves, right? Not that Nebraska's a have not, but it's just harder for them. And that's okay. That's okay. Nebraska's going to do it the hard way. And I wonder about the ceiling for a program like Nebraska. It's obviously going to be very difficult for them to win a national championship.
Yeah, there's apparently no juice left.
Yeah, I
was told that yesterday.
I squeezed it all out already.
No juice.
But that's okay. You don't have to win a national championship to be good at football. I just want them to be good. I don't think they're going to win a national championship, though. Sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to make people sad with that yesterday, but it's true.
Get ready to be wrong, Connor.
All right, win. Every year at the end of the year, I'll have a victory lap and I'll say, oh, Nebraska didn't win the national championship this year. Looks like it was right again for another year.
You're going to be like Mercury Morris drinking champagne at the end of every Nebraska season.
Yeah, it'll be Bobby Bonilla day, except for me on Nebraska didn't win a national championship day. My take stays correct.
I mean,
for yet another year.
That's fine.
All right. I'm going to write that in my calendar. For what? January 21st this year, right? That's when we'll know for sure. I mean, we'll know for sure before that.
Yeah.
But January 21st is the day after the national championship.
I mean, you could probably do it November 29th or something like that.
Yeah, almost for sure. Okay. MLB reaction, overreaction?
I'm ready. You ready?
Let's
Are
do
writers
it.
ready?
Writers got some stuff for us today.
They do. We begin. Oh, this one's me. Okay.
Well, it's directed at you.
Yeah, right. Josh Odson's biggest fear is that the Braves are the first wild card in the NL, aka the number 4 seed, and then get beat by some young team that probably has no business making the playoffs.
I would nominate for that position the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh, they get Skeens?
Yes. In a short series. Josh, have I unlocked a new fear for you?
Actually, this is an overreaction because let me tell you what the nightmare scenario is for me.
Okay.
They win that series and then have to play the number 1 Phillies and lose again to the
That's worse.
Gall darn Phillies.
That's not worse. That's not worse than just
losing to the Pirates.
Yeah, you don't want to lose to the Pirates.
I like
at least
Skeens.
make the real playoffs instead of the wild card round or whatever it is.
The scenario the writers have laid out is not great.
So just a quick little update here on Josh's Braves. They're 9 games out of the division. The Phillies have shown absolutely no signs of slowing down. The Braves have lost Ronald Acuna. They're not bad. They're in fact fine. They're good. They're one of they're a top half team in baseball, probably a top 12 team in baseball. They're going to be comfortably in the Major League Baseball playoffs. Comfortably. But they're not going to win their division, which means you're banished to being the wild card. And when you're the wild card,
and you make the World Series. That's what happens.
You play if you're the 4 seed, you play the 5 seed. And right now, there is a lot of teams in contention for that exact spot.
Yes.
The Padres currently hold it. The Giants are a half game behind them. The Cubs are a half game behind them. The Reds are right there. The Cardinals are right there. The Pirates are right there. The Diamondbacks are right there. The Nationals are right there. And the Mets are still only 3.5 games out of a playoff spot at this point. Somebody's going to get absurdly hot and be gunning for the Atlanta Braves. And I think it is a fear that Josh should be aware of and worried about.
It has crossed my mind. I'd like to note the NL Central. The Brewers have a 7-game lead, but the Reds, Cubs, Cardinals, and Pirates are all within half a game of each other.
Yeah. I think the Pirates are the team that, like, with Jones and Skeens, and they could do something. I mean, the thing here is, remember, you're going to hear this a lot over the next 6 weeks before the trade deadline. Pretty much everybody's in it. You know, pretty much everybody's in it, unless you're named the Marlins,
Mets,
the Rockies. The Mets are only 3.5 games out of a playoff spot, Josh. I mean, they're going to sell.
Yeah.
The White Sox, the A's, and the Angels. That's pretty much it. Unless you're one of those 6 teams, you can do whatever it is you like. Now, most of those teams who are in a race will probably just stand pat. But if you really feel like you want to go for it and you're set up to go for it, your schedule lines up, whatever it might be, there's nothing stopping you. Go. And I think the Pirates will probably want to go.
Make a run for it.
Yeah.
You're the Pirates. Why not?
Yeah.
Do the Rays have anyone worth selling this year?
The Rays.
I don't know why you would know that.
So the Rays' whole bit is when they go to other teams, they suck. So,
so I don't want anyone from the
beware
Rays.
of that. Okay. No, you never want anybody from the Rays.
Okay. Take number 2.
Yes.
An MLB team in London is viable.
Overreaction.
Gross overreaction.
Saw a lot of stuff from the MLB
London
the
series.
MLB in London series, and I saw this take being thrown out there. Why don't they put a team in London and they would get travel incentives? And it's only a 7-hour flight or whatever to the East Coast. I mean, there's a lot of teams on the East Coast, Josh. You can get to both of the New York teams, the DC area teams, Boston. You can get there in 7 hours. It's a 7-hour flight. It's not short. This is not viable, and it will not happen. Thank you for playing.
It's a 10-hour flight to Seattle.
Yeah. You talk about growing the game or whatever. Okay, is it actually? So give me like JFK to London. Do JFK to London. Is it 5 hours? It's probably 7 hours going to New York and 5 hours going to London. That'd be my guess.
It'll probably help if I Googled what it was I was looking for. 7 hours, 10 minutes, JFK to London.
So 7 hours to there. And it's more coming back. So no, this is not going to happen. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the takes that are out there. But
if the NFL hasn't found a way to make this work,
yeah,
baseball ain't finding a way for this to work.
I enjoyed all the scenes from London, all the crazy Brits enjoying baseball.
Yep. It's fun one weekend a year.
Yep. And that's good. That's plenty. Next.
Take number 3. MLB should pause their season for the Olympics. BT Dub, this is a Bryce Harper take.
Oh, BT Dub's from the writers. Yes.
Trying to be hip to the kids.
Bryce Harper told reporters in London, quote, "There's nothing more worldwide than the Olympics. I watch the most random sports in the Olympics because it's the Olympics. And that's really cool. I love hockey. It's one of my favorite sports to watch. To see the NHL take the 3-week break and let those guys go play, that's another big goal that we should have as Major League Baseball. I've talked with numerous people with Major League Baseball about it. I would love to be a part of that. We have the WBC, but it's not the same. It's not. The Olympics is something that you dream about playing in." That's from your favorite guy, Bryce Harper.
Connor?
Yes.
I don't think you're ready for this. Bryce Harper is right.
I knew you'd come around one day. So, Josh, quote, "Bryce Harper is cool and I love him."
That is not what I said. Please do not say that I thought he was cool.
Now, a note here on what Mr. Harper had to say. The hockey, the NHL hasn't done this in the last 2 Olympics.
Right.
So
they no longer do this.
Yes,
so
that's notable because of insurance issues, they say. Now, that's traveling across the world and all the stuff like that. However, it is notable that the next Olympics that baseball would be played in would be the 2028 Olympics, which are headquartered in Los Angeles,
America. Picture Chavez Ravine hosting the Olympics.
I think it would be sick for America to flex their muscle on the entire world and say, we have the best baseball players. Or
would they?
Or like, hold on. Or for them to think that they are flexing their muscles and saying that and go up there and get beat, kind of like they do in the World Baseball Classic every year. Because all the best players play in that. Now it's during spring training. It's a little bit different. Guys would be in midseason form in July. But I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. Do it over the All-Star break, play the All-Star game, and then go to the Olympics for 2 weeks. I think that'd be fun.
You saw the last World Baseball Classic. The guys get jacked up specifically to represent their country and play in the World Baseball Classic, which is kind of meaningless, but it's a cool event, right?
Definitely.
The Olympics actually matter.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it would be ramped up by 100.
And maybe in 50 years, the World Baseball Classic will be like the coolest thing of all time.
Sure.
But like, it just doesn't have that institutional, like, this is the Olympics. So yeah, way to go, Bryce.
Bryce Harper.
He's right.
Right. Feels so dirty. Take number 4. Who is the first manager fired? Now, that's not really a take. You should tell me the first manager fired, and I'll tell you if it's a reaction or overreaction. That's how the game's played, writers.
The writers do what they want. We have some options.
Okay.
How about, can I interest you in firing Pedro Grifol of the Chicago White Sox?
Sure seems like
he
it's
could
gonna
be
happen.
the Grifol guy.
All right, that's a pretty good newspaper headline.
Wow. It is. If that's not the first headline on the Chicago Tribune the day after that happens, I mean, it should be. Because they suck as an organization, and he would be the fall guy. The Grafal guy, that one's free. Ollie Marmol, the St. Louis Cardinals, have been a nice disaster this year. It's been pleasant to watch. Bud Black of the Colorado Rockies, John Schneider of the Toronto Blue Jays, all of which have underachieved this year. Although I would argue the Chicago White Sox haven't underachieved, they just were supposed to suck.
Yeah.
Each of those four managers have received the vote of confidence from their bosses so far this season, which is dreaded, of course. Who gets fired first?
My opinion is the White Sox were always going to be bad, so it's not like firing your manager is going to fix that.
But usually it's the most convenient head on the stick.
It is. My vote is John Schneider. The Blue Jays were supposed to be good a long time ago, and they just kind of seem to be getting worse.
Hasn't happened.
Yeah.
They DFA'd Kevin Biggio. The Alec Manoah thing has gone horribly. Now, I'm going to combine this with, I'm going to say it's the Cardinals manager, Ollie Marmol. Mostly because that's the fan base that really cares about this thing, and they would like to see anyone fired at any moment in time.
Okay, he's been there about the same time as Schneider's been in Toronto.
The Cardinals, I say that while remembering that they're in it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 2 games under 500. I haven't seen quite as much Cardinals fan complaining lately, but if things go south on him, he's got to be the first on the chopping block for sure.
Definitely.
And finally, we head to Baseball Savant Corner.
Oh, hello.
So I was reading, Mike Petriello, he was on that Sunday Night Baseball broadcast where they introduced all the bat tracking data. And so they have used some of this bat tracking data to track pitchers and how little, I suppose I should say, hitters are squaring up their pitches. What is a squared up swing? It is where a batter accesses at least 80% of the available exit velocity given the speed of the swing and the pitch. And that can only really be done if you have hit the ball on the fat part of the bat. It's barreled, as they like to say.
There it is.
Each swing has a max attainable exit velocity based on the speed of the swing and the pitch. Math. If a swing attains at least 80% of that exit velocity, it counts as a squared up pitch. A swing more than 80% squared up can only happen on the sweet spot of the bat. So, who are the pitchers that are allowing the fewest sweet spot contact, or I should say, squared up contact this year? Number 1, Kyle Bradish of the Orioles, 17%. Number 2, Mackenzie Gore of the Nationals, just over 17%. Number 3, Freddie Peralta of the Brewers, under 18%. Reed Garrett of the Mets, under 18%. Garrett Crochet of the White Sox, over 18%. Michael King.
Who's going to trade for him?
Yeah. That's like their one piece they have. Tyler Glasnow, Cole Reagans,
there you go. There's
Zach Wheeler, and Cutter Crawford.
Pitches tonight for Boston.
You also get Mason Miller, would require quite the haul to trade for Mason Miller of the Oakland A's.
You will not want to pay that price.
He is only swing 100. Batters have only swung 168 competitive swings against him this year. Therefore, he does not actually qualify this list. But he is only allowing sweet spot contact on 13% of the swings against him this year. Also, he has about a 50% strikeout rate, which is absolutely absurd. So, yes, you're going to have to pay a lot to trade for Mason Miller this year. There you go. Baseball Savant Corner.
That's a nice little cozy spot for us each week. I like it.
It's very fun for me to talk about words that probably don't make sense when they come out of my mouth, but it makes mild amount of sense in my head. All right, quick timeout. We'll come back. Josh will have the top 5 people that I should talk to at the College World Series. Jacob Bigelow will join after that. All to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
How powerful is Cox Fiber? Powerful enough to let your band members in Vegas, Phoenix, and Omaha jam like you're all in the same garage. Introducing Cox Fiber from the company with the fastest download speeds 9 years in a row. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, always building better. Limited availability in select areas. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence in Las Vegas, Omaha, Phoenix. Fixed median download speeds Q2 2016 to Q1 2024.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. Everlevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage, and it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today.
Hey kids, what are you getting your ever-loving dad for Father's Day?
I know, a motorized monster truck. How about the new Taylor Swift album? You would love it.
Yeah, I'm sure. How about something from Osted's Golf? Name brand apparel up to 50% off. Strixon balls at crazy deals. And Dad's always loving Osted's gift card.
You have been putting a lot of balls in the water.
Not after my custom fitting. I'm smashing everything.
You're good at that with a monster truck.
Osted's Golf for Father's Day.
The Osted family would really appreciate it.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Dinger Tuesdays are back with FanDuel, where you can turn dingers into dollars all season long. You like yourself some Aaron Judge, Jose Ramirez, Bobby Witt Jr.? Just bet on your favorite player to rip a moonshot, Gunnar Henderson, and FanDuel will give you $5 in bonus bets for every homer during that game. Yeah, homers just got even better. Just visit FanDuel.com/TheZone to get in on all the Dinger Tuesday action. There's another long one by Shohei or Mookie. FanDuel.com/TheZone is the way to get involved with Dinger Tuesday. Make every moment more with FanDuel. It is the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 and over, present in Iowa. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Maximum bonus, $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
All right, Josh. I'm gonna turn this off here. I'm gonna turn this on.
Oh, breaking news.
It doesn't happen much on days like this. This is from the New York Post. Joey Chestnut, perennial winner of the annual July 4th Nathan's hot dog eating competition, is out of this year's beef barf over a deal he made to represent a different wiener brand. The New York Post has learned. It's not just any brand, but Impossible Foods, which recently launched a vegan Frankfurter Imposter made from plants. California-born Chestnut has won the Nathan's event 16 times, including every year since 2016. He gobbled a world record 76 dogs in 2021 and kept his title with a mere 62 down the hatch last year. A rep for Major League Eating, which Nathan sanctions to run the event, said the organizers bent over backwards to meet Chestnut's various other demands. They even agreed to let him participate in a rival Labor Day dog eating fest to be taped by Netflix as long as no hot dog brand was mentioned. But they said they drew the line on letting Joey Chestnut be a spokesperson for a different hot dog.
Wow.
A source said Chestnut was paid $200,000 to appear in the Nathan's contest last year and was offered a $1.2 million 4-year contract going forward. Major League Eating said in a statement, quote, "We are devastated to learn that Joey Chestnut has chosen to represent a rival brand that sells plant-based hot dogs rather than competing in the 2024 Nathan's Famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest." Major League Eating and Nathan's went to great lengths to accommodate Joey and his management team, agreeing to the appearance fee and allowing Joey to compete in a rival unbranded hot dog eating contest on Labor Day. Wow. I'll finish the release here. For nearly 2 decades, we have worked under the same basic hot dog exclusivity provisions. However, it seems that Joey and his managers have prioritized a new partnership with a different brand over our longtime relationship. Joey Chestnut is an American hero. We would love nothing more than to have him at the Nathan's Famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest. We hope he returns when he is not representing a rival brand. Neither Chestnut nor his agents would immediately comment.
Now, there was a lot of info in that story that you read. Did it say how much Impossible is paying Joey Chestnut?
It did not.
Because this cannot possibly be worth it.
How much do you think?
I mean,
how many tens of $1 million? Because that's what we're talking about, right?
Right.
For Joey Chestnut to go on a couple Impossible hot dog commercials and say, "I love Impossible hot dogs more than Nathan's hot dogs."
Maybe in the commercial he eats them very slow and leisurely and enjoys them, and he's like, "Oh, this is the way to eat a hot dog."
Now, there is an undertone there as well about the plant-based hot dogs.
Boy, they really seem to not like those.
I don't think it's just the fact that it's a different brand. I also think they have something against plant-based hot dogs.
It sure seemed that way. Now, that could have just been the inflection you were putting on it.
I definitely put an inflection on it. Doc writes in on the text line.
What's up, Doc?
If Joey Chestnut has a deal with the Impossible Meats, he is not an American hero.
Oh. Charles in the YouTube says, American hero, ? For swallowing hot dogs en masse. Yes, Charles. Yes. You gotta go way back to like 2014 or whatever, when Joey Chestnut saved this great nation of ours.
Riley has a comment back to your comment, Josh.
Hi, Riley.
It's making midday sports talk radio in Omaha. What do you mean it's not worth it? Great point, Riley.
This is the pinnacle right here.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked by this news. I'm shocked by this news.
It was interesting to hear like the number of like ways they're
throwing him under the bus, though.
Because
yes,
they know, like, hey, if this guy isn't at our competition, nobody's going to watch. Nobody's going to care.
We got to talk to that. We got to talk to the hot dog guy.
They said we would.
What's his? Okay, he's in.
Now, this was weeks ago. Things have changed. He might be ducking the media now.
Yeah. Do we think he has any? What is his name again?
Great question.
The hot dog guy that came on last year, the guy who has all the nicknames and the stuff. That guy's awesome, by the way.
Hold on. I'm Shea.
George Shea.
George Shea.
George Shea.
I knew we'd get there.
I mean, we have to do our journalistic due diligence and ask him the question, right?
Like, hey, Joey Chestnut's not there anymore.
What happened?
Now, does Joey Chestnut go and form his own like live version of Major League Eating? Sounds like it'd be more like a lib version of.
Yeah, so that was the undertone. That was kind of the undertone. I didn't
check out this guy with his plant-based dogs.
It kind of feels like we have a MAGA situation brewing. Which, I mean, Coney Island, Nathan's Hot Dogs, like America, 4th of July. Okay, I get it. But this is huge news. This is going to change the game.
Sounds like a war on America, Connor.
A little bit it does. All right, so we have to hold Josh's top 5 for another 15 minutes here before we talk to Jacob.
That's fine. I mean,
that is something that we had to get to.
When the news breaks, we got to cover it.
Tony writes in, will this be the year that Kobayashi's ban is lifted? Is Kobayashi banned or did he just retire?
He retired due to health concerns, right?
Yes, I think we've gone over this before. What's Kobayashi doing now? If they got Kobayashi back, then would we forget about Joey Chestnut?
Interesting question you've posed.
We just need a hero. That's all.
Right.
That's all we need.
So maybe this year another country wins it, and then next year, 2025, an American hero swoops in and saves us.
2010 controversy. Oh, wow. On June 28, 2010, Kobayashi announced that he would not compete in the 4th of July eating competition.
He has not done it for some time.
Reportedly due to the company's insistence that Kobayashi sign an exclusive contract.
Very pushy, these Nathan's people.
Yeah, I mean, this is nuts.
A lot of other hot dogs out there, I'm just saying.
On July 4th, 2010, Kobayashi was in attendance watching from the crowd during the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, wearing a black t-shirt that said "Free Kobe" with an eye.
Oh.
Kobayashi mingled with the crowd, standing inside a police barricaded pen just under the stage. After spectators began chanting his name loudly, demanding that they, quote, let him eat. Accordingly, Kobayashi indulged their wishes by climbing up onto the stage to a thunderous ovation. Although he was initially ushered by security officers off stage, one security officer arrested him from behind, and Kobayashi began resisting and thrashing his body around. Do you remember this?
It vaguely rings a bell, yes.
In July 2012, Kobayashi was still barred from the Nathan's event due to a contract dispute. Due to that same contract dispute. Wow. They need to get Kobayashi back. If Joey Chestnut is no longer an American hero, the guy that we thought he was, it's time to go after the big guns.
Definitely.
Bring Kobayashi home. Okay.
Need some star power at this thing.
Lot going on there. Josh, we got to take a break. Jacob Bigelow's up on the other side. We'll get to your top 5. Don't be concerned.
Never would be.
Coming back on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Welcome to this episode of RV Ready, brought to you by Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs. Looks like the open road is calling.
Call me Rudy. Time's a-wasting, people. Mountains, lakes, rivers, campsites, all of it is waiting for you.
I'm hearing you.
Leach Camper Sales has the RV for you, and I am calling you out here.
Sounds like people should head to leachcamper.com and check out the inventory, or just stop by Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs.
And don't forget,
the coffee's always on.
Of course it is.
A fantastic fall fishing trip starts right now. Hi, I'm Crash Davis. I need you to go to balladsresort.com and get signed up. You've heard me talking about it. You've asked me about it. Well, now is the time to get signed up. Only a few spots remain. Only a few days remain for us to have a great fishing adventure together at Ballad's Resort in northern Minnesota. We're going to the Lake of the Woods. Get on the bus Sunday. We're back on Thursday, and it's cheaper than you could do for gas there and back hauling a boat. More details with balladsresort.com. Get signed up today. Time is of the essence.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail.
J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
If you're planning on popping the question this year, now is the time to buy the engagement ring at Greenberg's and receive 20% off a men's or ladies' wedding band during Greenberg's Wedding Band Extravaganza. And you'll be entered to win a free honeymoon with airfare and hotel included. Heck, even if you already have your engagement ring, Greenberg's will still give you 20% off of his or her wedding band and enter you to win the free honeymoon. Greenberg's has a stunning wedding band selection from Love Story, Crown Ring, Benchmark, and M-Fit, with 20% off for a very limited time. 20% off wedding bands and potentially a free honeymoon during Greenberg's Wedding Band Extravaganza. Like I said, now is the time to buy that engagement ring and wedding band from Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest. Westroads Mall. Some restrictions apply.
Got the happy hour blues? Get to Cops for happy hour relief with 2 happy hours from 3 to 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. till close Sunday through Friday. Cops serves 24-ounce domestic drafts for just $3 and 24-ounce craft drafts for only $4, plus $2 off appetizers. The restaurant that offers great pizza, burgers, and tasty charred wings now offers 2 great happy hours. Visit Cops today at 180th and Center, the Shadow Lake Town Center, and 72nd and Jones, or click copspizza.com. Cops, pizza, and so much more.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
He's heating up. That's the country song, right? Remember when?
Thank you. Jacob Bigelow.
Yeah. Whenever my open is concocted, throw that in there. He's on fire.
Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, on the Connor Happer Show, on 1620 The Zone. Boom shakalaka.
Well, it's tough to do a fun interview after the news that we just learned, but I feel as if we have the right guy for it. Jacob Bigelow joins us now on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Hap, how are you?
Good. I mean, so your immediate reaction, I know I don't want to put you on the spot, but your immediate reaction to Joey Chestnut being banned from the hot dog eating contest for a contract dispute with Impossible.
Yeah, it's just another example of the dark side of NIL. Hot dog eating contest. Hot dog eating contest used to be about loyalty, player development, building a program. It used to be for the love of the game, and now this whole NIL monster has worked its way onto the 4th of July, and it is soiled a once great tradition in this country. It's a sad day. The dark side of NIL that they warned us about.
I am interested, though, Jacob, in the possibilities if Impossible, the brand, wanted to start their own hot dog eating contest also to take place on the 4th of July. I am quite intrigued, and they would eat Impossible hot dogs. I am quite intrigued as to what the discourse would be like if that were to happen.
Well, so hot dog live golf.
Hot dog live golf. That's exactly what we're doing.
Hot dog live golf. I mean, what's the hot dog eating contest equivalent of 54 holes and shotgun starts? What's the hot dog eating equivalent of that? We got to iron this out, get it figured out. But I'm sure the that we could be headed down that road. It could be a road where could be here before we know it.
Maybe the buns are like I don't know, instead of buns, it's like wrapped up in a tortilla or something like that. I don't know. You're right. You have to do something different. I just don't know what it is.
No, Hot Dog Live Golf would probably have like the Elam ending, like for a hot dog eating contest. It would be like, here's the target number of dogs. Whoever gets there first wins. It'd be something like that.
Okay.
Hot dog live golf.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I might be intrigued in that. I don't know. Just maybe that news is still in the process of coming down. We'll find out. But certainly intriguing stories to follow there. Jacob, I couldn't help but notice on the Jack Mitchell softball team last night that you were not in attendance and they won. What do we have a Ewing theory situation here? Like, what's going on?
We may have a Ewing theory or addition by subtraction, or the fact that they were playing the winless team in the league. All of those things could be factors. They all could be a part of it. But regardless, winners win. They found a way to do it. Two wins on the year. So tip of the cap to the fellas for getting her done last night in my absence.
So you are of Omaha, and you appreciate all things College World Series. So as you look at our field and what we've been left with, I wanted to ask you specifically about this before we get into like the fan base thing. It does not bother me as much as it seems to maybe bother others that we have what we have in the college baseball championship, which is all SEC and ACC teams. That's the majority of what it is every year. Would I prefer that there's one little baby school underdog that makes it? Sure, but I know that they're not going to be there for the long run anyway. Like, I'm actually totally fine with the setup of what we have this year, and I don't consider it to be much different than any other year.
No, I would tend to agree with you. I mean, it's kind of a mix of old friends who haven't been here in a while, some constant visitors to Omaha, like Virginia, and then the new blood. I mean, the new blood is Kentucky, plucky underdog Kentucky, but they're their first time ever in the College World Series. I'm sure Big Blue Nation will make a pilgrimage this way. I think it's kind of a nice balance. And then the other thing is, there was always, I feel like people were going to feel let down almost regardless after last summer and how that College World Series went. And it kind of like
definitely
being the first one that felt like, a College World Series of old at the new stadium. So I feel like it was, we were fixing to be disappointed regardless, in my opinion. But when you get past the initial disappointment, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think so too. Now we get to the fan base question. So you are actually very good at this, and you've seen a lot around, whether it's college basketball, college athletics over the years. I think you would be a great person to handicap basically the Jello shot competition. What do you see when you look at the field? What are we going to get in terms of representation in the colors in Omaha this weekend?
I think I'm expecting there to be a lot of blue. I mean, I think just what I've seen on social media, like Kentucky people are really excited. I think they're probably my favorite in the Jello shot contest. I think that that Friday night game, that Tennessee Florida State game, is probably going to feel like a football game. It's going to be pretty rowdy. I don't know which fan base will have the most representation. The last couple of years of Tennessee being here, I've been surprised that they're not being as much orange as I expected. They talk a big game, that's for sure. But with them getting back and everything that is Tony Vitello and all that whole experience, I think they're up there in the race as well. I heard you guys talking about what fan base will go to which bar. Are we going to?
I'm fascinated.
Are we going to see Tennessee fans queuing Rocky Top for some Alderman's karaoke? Like, are they going to wander in there and say, "You guys got Rocky Top on this thing"?
I think it's a good match. I think it's a good match.
I think it's a good match. Are there going to be some folks who are getting Ubers from downtown out to Bushwhackers to go line dancing? Is there going to be there's plenty plenty of different watering holes that you could wander into in this town. You can either wander into it, downtown, or get an Uber and find yourself in a pretty interesting spot. The possibilities are endless.
Who will be getting Ubers to Bushwhackers? The odds are up now on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Looks like the favorite is once again Kentucky. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, yeah. Get Mark Pope to Bushwhackers, Kentucky. Get Mark Pope to do some line dancing out at Bushwhackers.
Oh, that guy. And I don't know where he's at right now, because I was checking over his social media a couple nights ago. But it will be a gigantic disappointment if he does not make it to his hometown, the town of his birth.
I completely agree. He's definitely near the top of a list of dignitaries that I wouldn't mind seeing make the trip.
Yeah. They should do we were talking about the Gerald Ford birthplace before. They should do a Mark Pope birthplace. I wonder where that might have been on. I don't know, but they should put up a sign on the road and all the Kentucky fans can go there this weekend. Okay. By the way, we haven't, I don't think we've talked with you since the Berkay news last week. Is this right? I guess they got him on Wednesday, right?
Indeed. We were trending toward the Turkish delight news, but now Berkay is signed, sealed, and delivered. I saw on his social medias he was packing up his room out in LA and asking people for help packing. But so we'll see when he arrives. But I think that'll wrap up Nebraska's off-season activity. I think they're going to keep that last open scholarship in their pocket for any possible mid-year, or maybe depending on the circumstance, obviously. But I like the addition for Nebraska. Obviously, the tape that you've seen him look the best on is his FIBA tape, playing with the Turkish national team. Good amount of shooting there. Minutes were up and down out at UCLA, but I think there's upside to like, and you could say that for Berkay, and you could say that for quite a few players on the roster. I think it'll just be a matter of how it comes together.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm kind of curious about. Now that we have a pretty decent, I mean, like you said, I think they're done. This is pretty much what the team is going to look like, barring any unforeseen circumstances at this point. Like, I think we've asked you this at various checkpoints throughout the offseason, but now that it's more of a complete look, what do you like? What is it? What is this roster? Like, if you were to kind of sum it up or have some ideas of how it might look next year.
I think it's balanced. I really do. I mean, I think there's a good amount of guys with plenty of experience. I mean, they're going to have they have a guy on their roster who's played more than 100 games, and power conference in Raleigh Worcester. Playing for Craig Smith. You got to be a smart guard to play for Craig Smith. Now I know that's just how he operates. You bring back Williams and Gary, who were Bryce Williams finished last season so strong. I think if he takes a jump, I think he's going to be their dude regardless. But he could be a legitimate dude depending on how his development goes this summer. There's actual post depth with Mia, Morgan, and even Berkay. You've got plenty of different lineup combinations to play with. I think the biggest question is going to be the 3-point shooting, because you're betting on guys like Connor Essegian, Gavin Griffiths to bounce back from what they were last season at their previous stops, and you're hoping Williams can improve there. I don't know if either of your point guards are going to give you much shooting beyond the arc, but when you've got Fred Hoiberg drawing up X's and O's, he'll find a way to get guys looks that benefit them.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, there's a lot to like, but there's also a lot of like, I don't know, this could go one way or a completely different way. It's an interesting roster. All right, Jacob. So next week so next week, a week from today, I'll be doing the Village shows. I'll text you. I'll let you know what we're planning on doing next week. I haven't thought that far ahead. A lot of stuff before we get to next Tuesday, but I'll figure out if your services are necessary.
That is fine. I'll be on call. I'm a Swiss Army knife. Whatever you need me to do, I'll be waiting for it. So,
that's why we like you, Jacob.
Good.
Appreciate it as always. Talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thanks, fellas. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, and of the Stretch Big Pod. Yes, a week from now we'll be doing a Village show. Both of them, the Village shows.
Heck yeah.
Well, there'll be a game going on right now, but like a week
Right.
from today. Anyway, I'll be done with the sideline responsibilities for the first 8 games will be in the books.
Wow.
We'll be in the 9th game a week from today.
Amazing. It's almost over, everybody.
Josh, one thing before we get to your top 5 here. Would you like to say where your mind's at now on
Yes.
the hot dog issue?
Given a little time to dwell on the Joey Chestnut news, which is tragic for this nation, by the way.
If true.
I am of the belief that this is a stunt.
Ooh.
I believe this is fabricated to drum up interest and ratings in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Okay, so what do you think the dismount is?
In a couple of weeks, the two sides come to an agreement, and Joey Chestnut is made eligible for the Nathan's hot dog eating contest live on ESPN.
And then it
July
all
4th.
goes on the same?
Yes.
You got to add something else to it. Give me some more spice. I'm fine with it being a bit. I'm fine with that.
Everybody's a little tired of the rinse and repeat of Joey Chestnut enters contest, Joey Chestnut wins contest by a landslide. We got to gin up some interest for this thing.
Okay, I don't mind the take, but I will remind you that Kobayashi got kicked out for the same thing.
And look,
maybe that's connected.
Have you seen the 30 for 30 about Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi? They don't like each other. This might also be a middle finger to him for that.
Interesting. Conspiracy Josh.
I had a little time to stew on it, and I said, you know what? It's one of those things where it got too big too fast, and I'm like, what's going on here?
All right, we'll go ahead and save that take for when we need it.
Mm-hmm.
It might come back up. We'll see if Josh is right about that.
I sure hope I am.
I like you going out on a limb for it.
Thank you. That's where exactly I was. I'm like, okay, I'm going out on a limb, but I want it to be known that I'm going out on a limb.
I'm good. Aaron texts in.
Hi, Aaron.
He says, this sounds very much like Kelsey and Taylor take.
Whoa, no. Also, TBD on that.
You are kind of a conspiracy guy. What's up with that?
It's my job. It's my job to look at things a little differently than everyone else.
Well, you were wrong about Travis and Taylor. That's for sure.
TBD on that.
All right, back with Josh's top 5 people that I should talk to this week. Next on 1620 The Zone.
You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk at all. 1620 The Email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Temperatures into the 80s this afternoon with clear skies. We might squeeze out our first 90-degree day of the year, and if we don't get it today, tomorrow we'll start in the 60s and then get to that 90-degree temperature in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Tune in to 1290 Coil all season long for your Omaha Storm Chasers baseball as they take on the International League. It's Storm Chasers baseball on 1290 Coil.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Host is roasting every morning.
Host Coffee Services is on a mission to invigorate every workplace with a blend of bold flavors and unforgettable service, creating moments with our coffee, water, and food services that spark joy, productivity, and connection. Call us today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee Services is always roasting something good for you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back. We're the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. I would encourage you all to sign up for 1620's email.
Why haven't you done that yet?
As well. Yeah, we've been telling you for months now. Please do it. And you'll be the first to get all of our exciting news and the things. I mean, like I said, we're going to have all these people around for the College World Series who will be making content and stuff like that. It's going to come straight to your inbox. Get signed up. Also promotions where you can win things. Yes, I shouldn't say, well, that's probably like illegal for me to say like free money, but you know, like people say free beer. It's not exactly that, but I would probably sign up just in case there's free money or a beer that comes to your inbox.
You'll want to know.
1620thezone.com. Today on the on Sportsmanlike Conduct and the Grum, I believe Mike Schaefer will be here.
That's right. He said to stay tuned to the crossover
because
when he talked to us yesterday.
He's got something for us. Also, I have a topic alert that I'd like to talk about during the crossover as well.
It's a good one. It's juicy.
All right. Josh, top 5.
Top 5 people Connor Happer has to talk to this week. They're called sideline reports, even though it's baseball. There's not really necessarily a sideline per se.
There's a dugout.
That's right.
Sometimes the things that I say are related to things that are happening in the game. Most of the time, they're not.
That's right.
Just bringing some color to the event.
Ooh, here we go.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
Florida State back in town.
Yeah.
They are seeking that first natty. They desperately want out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And what better representative to, they can't outwardly say that while they're talking to you, Connor, but I think Mike Norvell would be great in front of a microphone.
I thought you were going to say ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips. What do you think about Florida State wanting to leave?
They're very good at lots of sports. Would you be sad to see them go?
You think Norvell would have some things to say?
I don't think he's going to say, "Yep, we won out of the conference," but I think he would.
I don't think I would ask him about their standing in the conference.
No, you would not. Nor should you, by the way.
Thank you. I wasn't planning on it.
Okay, you have 12 seconds. Tell me why you won out of the ACC.
I mean, what if we would get into anything related to anything outside of like Omaha and baseball? It would be like, hey, you remember that you guys, went undefeated and didn't make the playoff last year?
Are you happy with the college football playoff expansion?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's a good way to do it. All right. We'll see. I don't think that I've talked to I don't think that I've had a report. I've only been doing it for 2 years, so I don't think I've done a mid-inning report with a college football coach yet.
You didn't talk to Lane?
No.
Oh,
no.
Was that Gary that talked to Lane?
Maybe I did.
Somebody talked to Lane Kiffin last year.
Maybe it was Gary or Nick.
Yeah.
I don't think that I've had a college football coach yet. A few basketball coaches.
Okay.
So that would be the first. Let's do it.
All right. Number 4.
Number 4.
Top 5 people Connor should talk to while doing reports for the College World Series. Number 4. Now this is a twofer. Get one, get both of them. It doesn't really matter as long as you get at least one of them. People go to the College World Series for 2 things. 1, to enjoy baseball, and 2, to be seen.
Yes.
There's
Livy Dunn?
No, not this year. There's 1 or 2 people who love to be seen at a sporting event in this great state of ours.
Yeah.
Young Dylan Raiola.
Oh.
And or Matt Rule. Now, I believe Matt has stayed away from the College World Series.
Well, he's only had one chance to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder if Rule will go. Dylan will be there.
Yeah.
The question is Dylan relevant to our national broadcast?
That's true. Maybe that's just a quick vlog.
I mean, you could make the case that he is. You could make the case that he is relevant to the national broadcast.
Now,
5-star starting quarterback at a Power 5 school, Dylan Raiola.
Had Georgia gotten here, that would have been really interesting.
Very relevant.
Yes.
To our national broadcast at that point. Rule would be.
Yeah, you could definitely spin that.
Yes.
Into being relevant.
Interesting. Okay. I wonder if either will show up. Remember when Taylor Martinez showed up?
3. Combination of 3 and 5. Number 3.
I think Ed Foley was there a lot last year, if I remember correctly.
Well, there was food.
Yeah. Ed Foley had some good seats, like right behind home plate.
Hello.
Yeah.
Connor, this one's probably not going to happen, but it is a pipe dream. You have to ask.
Come on. Yeah. Shoot for somebody big.
Peyton Manning.
We will always ask.
We will always ask. He will always be very polite in declining the invite, but you do have to ask. And who knows? Maybe one of these years he's got something really, really spicy that he wants to promote. He's had several chances before. And he says, you know what? Okay.
Last year, while we were tracking down Peyton, I was assisting Nick, who was doing the broadcast, and I was amazed at how close he got. Because usually there's like several layers of, it's like, hey,
handlers and people. Hey, Peyton's not really talking to anybody right now.
Peyton, don't go. I mean, there's already people at the cutting off the section or inside because he's sitting like the 200 level where the club comes from, and they're like, yeah, you can only be here if you have a seat. Psst, show the badge, whatever. Show the microphone. Get through. All right. Peyton doesn't really want to be talked to. Got through that, and Nick went right up to him. He usually has a whole row to himself. And, usually they're like, but Nick went right up to him and Peyton very politely declined.
So I think the key to this is Tennessee sticking around for a long amount of time.
He gets bored enough.
Yeah.
So how old are his kids now? They got to be to the point where they're
great question.
Probably not going to be accompanying dad to the College World Series very much longer. So they got to be both above like 10 or 12 at this point, right? He's got 2 sons.
I believe they are. What? That's Eli Manning. That's not what I Googled.
I know what Cooper's son is.
Looks like Marshall is 12.
Marshall is 12. Okay, so they'll probably still be here. All right. I'll try. No doubt about it.
That's all we ask. We just want you to ask.
Of course.
And maybe get a story out of asking.
Of course.
Here comes 2. Number 2.
This one's a lock. It's going to happen, and it's going to be great. Bring me Mock Pope.
Electric. Electric.
New basketball coach at Kentucky.
So many things to talk about, too.
Omaha's own, yeah.
Is it a coincidence that the second they get rid of Coach Cal, Kentucky finally shows up to Omaha?
Coach Cal was really holding that whole institution back.
Interesting. Everything's coming up Kentucky these days.
Mm-hmm.
Mock Pope. You could pretty much lock that one in.
Yeah.
That's
seems almost like they wouldn't even let you bet on it.
Yep. That's happening.
All right. The number one person Connor has to talk to at the College World Series this year.
I think I have an idea.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious.
Make it so, number one.
Number one.
Get Trev Alberts before they rip his name off the stadium.
Be fun to just have the.
So
like, I just want to like.
You're here.
Because what happens is you got to be there a couple minutes before the half inning ends, and you just get to chatting or whatever, and like I just want to kind of just like, Trev, have they like how has it been? Mm-hmm. You know, like have they
been Nebraska nice to you?
Have you felt threatened? You know, or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Really, how has it gone? That's what I would be looking
like
for.
Really, we're not. It's off the record here before we go on air.
Yeah, it's like personal. Like how have you been?
Now
he'll probably say, he'll probably be like, "No big deal, babe. It's fine. Nothing crazy." You know, but he'll feel it when he gets out amongst the people.
I want to give credit to Douglas because we often like to poke fun at Douglas. We enjoy his time in our chat here. He says, use Dylan as bait for Peyton. Couple of great quarterbacks. Hey, young versus old, changing of the guard.
What do you mean as bait?
Hey,
Dylan Raiola did this, so you could?
I've got this 5-star quarterback here. Would you like to talk to Peyton Manning? Would you like to talk to this 5-star quarterback?
Oh, so I get Dylan out of his seat. I bring him with me.
Yeah.
And take him to Peyton Manning and say, you can meet Dylan if only you do a 10-second interview with me.
That's right.
That feels a little flawed.
Yeah.
But maybe.
I like the thought process of like, hey, you're both great quarterbacks. Let's do something together.
Okay. Nobody that was really off the board in that conversation. I'm surprised we didn't go too deep.
No.
Tony says Bert Kreischer. Is Bert Kreischer a fan of he's a fan of drinking, right?
Look, I've gone on this rant on Twitter before. I'm sick of this
You're
guy.
out on the Bert Kreischer.
Not funny. He's got one joke, and that joke is, hey, I should be wearing a shirt, but I'm not wearing a shirt. Isn't that funny? It's actually not.
Have you ever heard him talk or
I have
do a podcast or anything like that?
And it's not funny.
Okay. As long as you've done your research.
I've heard him tell that one story that he tells a zillion times.
What story are you referring to?
I went to Russia and my shirt came off and they tried to kill me. You know.
Really? I've never heard that before.
It's the one joke that he has.
Speaking of, we have to get to our College World Series take of the day.
That's right.
Bert Kreischer, by the way, a Florida State guy. There you go.
There's better people to talk to from that.
I would rather talk to Bert Kreischer than Mike Norvell.
I mean, it might be more fun and enjoyable, but
yeah. You think Leonard Hamilton will be here? He's only 89 years old.
You think JD Drew will come up?
Oh, good one. JD Drew. Yeah. College World Series take of the day. Last year, Florida tied the series record with 17 home runs hit in a single College World Series. Somebody's going over that number this year. And the lead candidate is Tennessee. Their numbers are insane.
Yeah.
Christian Moore, Billy Amick, the whole thing. I mean, maybe even Dalton Bargo will get in on the action. He of Omaha West Side fame. I think there's going to be some dongers this year. They're going to be flying out of the yard. That's my College World Series take of the day. I know
like
you've been
that.
waiting all day for it.
That park really changed.
Quickly here from Shams Sharamia, whatever. Celtics Kristaps Porzingis suffered a torn medial retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibial tendon.
Yeah, he was not right.
Seems like a joke.
What I don't know what he said, but what is that?
He suffered a torn medial retinaculum.
Retina's the eye, though.
retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon. Now, tibialis seems a little leggy.
Tibia, yeah. What does this mean?
I think something on his leg separated from something that wasn't supposed to be separated.
Now, he's listed as day-to-day.
Can you play through a torn retinaculum? Medial retinaculum?
I don't know. Luka revealed that he's getting shot up before every game.
Yeah, because have you ever seen that guy walk? He looks like me after slow pitch softball. All right, we'll be back. We'll get to the poll questions. We'll tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
When it comes to concrete repair, Everlevel has some serious game. Coach Greg McDermott here to coach you on why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. They've got the fundamentals to fix your cracked and uneven concrete, and their products will give you the best defense against future damage. It's a fraction of the price compared to replacement, and their solutions come with a long-term transferable warranty. Working with Everlevel is a slam dunk. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today for your free inspection.
Are Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
Nothing says summer better than corn, carnivals, and baseball. Come enjoy carnival games, food and drink specials, and watch the Storm Chasers play in their fan-favorite Corn Chasers jerseys at our Wednesday night carnivals, presented by Nebraska Spine Hospital. You can also bring your canine friends to these games as part of our Park in the Park series. Visit OmahaStormChasers.com for more info.
Omaha Storm Chasers family. Everyone get on your feet, stir up the storm, we're family.
If you're planning on popping the question this year, now is the time to buy the engagement ring at Greenberg's and receive 20% off a men's or ladies' wedding band during Greenberg's Wedding Band Extravaganza. And you'll be entered to win a free honeymoon with airfare and hotel included. Heck, even if you already have your engagement ring, Greenberg's will still give you 20% off of his or her wedding band and enter you to win the free honeymoon. Greenberg's has a stunning wedding band selection from Love Story, Crown Ring, Benchmark, and M-Fit with 20% off for a very limited time. 20% off wedding bands and potentially a free honeymoon during Greenberg's Wedding Band Extravaganza. Like I said, now is the time to buy that engagement ring and wedding band from Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest. Westroads Mall. Some restrictions apply.
Poll questions at Happer Show on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Sometimes, man, I just...
The hell's going on here?
I just don't get it.
Just say it, Connor.
At Happer Show, Carolina mustard barbecue, yes or no? It's not called Carolina mustard barbecue. It's just mustardy Carolina barbecue. That's what Carolina barbecue is.
Yeah, I didn't want to put Carolina barbecue and people go, oh, yeah, I like barbecue. I kind of wanted a little bit of context, like a hair of context.
Well, I'm going to vote yes, even though I pretty much know probably how this one came back.
I'm out on mustard.
52% said no. Not as slanted as I thought it was going to be. Find a new slant. I'm very in on mustardy things. I love mustard. Mustard's good.
I guess to be more specific, yellow mustard, trash.
No.
Other mustards.
Oh, you like a spicy brown?
Yeah, that's fine.
Interesting. What's so different about?
I don't know. Something about yellow mustard. It's
just the color.
No.
We'll have to dive into this later on. Do you want to stay in Normal, Illinois?
No, never.
92% say no.
Wow.
Somehow 8% said yes.
Sure.
Is Benson for all? Yes. Benson is for all.
How could it not be?
57% say no. It is not for all.
I guess it's not for olds.
Are these jerseys gas or ass?
All gas, baby. Look at these buttes.
They are gas.
Y'all are going to want one.
63% said ass.
Oh, of course they did.
And
trolls.
Finally, have you been to the Gerald Ford birthplace? Have you been to Gerald Ford's birthplace?
No.
I have not. 64% say no. 36% say yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What's there? What's it like? Tell me.
Somebody, Hockey Dad said earlier that it's basically just a garden.
That's not enough.
Gerald Ford was born in a garden. Those are the polls, Josh. What are we watching tonight?
Well, we have no baseball tonight. No basketball, no hockey tonight. So we focus on baseball. Phillies, Red Sox, 6 o'clock on TBS. Zach Wheeler versus Cutter Crawford. Cutter Crawford, 10th toughest pitcher to square up in Major League Baseball.
Very good, Josh. You paid attention today.
That's right. Houston Astros at the San Francisco Giants, 8:30 on MLB Network. Rangers, Dodgers, 9 o'clock on ESPN Plus. And it's not on national TV, but the Pirates do play the Cardinals today, 6:45. It is Paul Skeens Day.
Oh.
So pay attention to that, I guess.
Libby Dunn will make an appearance.
That's right. She'll be at Busch Stadium. The W on NBA TV tonight, 9 o'clock. The Las Vegas Aces host the Minnesota Lynx. Aces just 5-4. Something going on there? Something or nothing?
What do you mean?
Well, they're the two-time defending champs, Connor.
Well, maybe, they couldn't get enough NIL money this year.
I'm not sure that's how that league operates, but I guess I don't know for sure.
Okay.
New 30 for 30 tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPN. It's called False Positive, the story of track star Butch Reynolds and his false positive drug test in 1990. Hulu has episode 3 of Clipped. The infamous tape lands at TMZ, disrupting the Clippers' momentum and Donald's 80th birthday. How Music Got Free. It's a docuseries on Paramount Plus, 3 parts, revisits music's digital revolution in the late 90s and early 2000s. And finally, tonight, 9 o'clock, NBC. It's an NBC News special with Hoda Kotb, an interview with Celine Dion. Celine Dion sits down with Hoda to open up about her ongoing battle with stiff person syndrome.
But she's better now, right?
I believe she is better than she was,
Yes,
but
okay.
she is not better.
Text from Matt DeMarinas.
Hi, Matt.
All mustard is yellow, Josh.
Guys, ladies, all people, yellow mustard is a product. It is not me describing the mustard.
All the
to
mustards
you.
that I've ever seen are yellow.
Yes, absolutely they are. Unless it's that weird Heinz stuff from the 90s that was, we'll make
purple.
We'll make ketchup fun.
Yeah. He's right.
French's mustard. How about that? Is that better?
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the show today. If you missed anything, you can find it all at 1620thezone.com. It's time for the crossover. It's next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Grandpa Dave here from Osted's Golf, helping the grandkids get their dad the perfect gift for Father's Day.
Thanks for your help, Grandpa. Dad wasn't thrilled with the candy that we got him last year, but we sure liked it.
Okay, kids, save up to $200 on clubs from TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, or Ping. We're up to 50% off name brand golf apparel. Buy 2 dozen Strixon balls, get 1 free. And dads love Osted's gift cards.
Papa, we need a bigger allowance.
Talk to your dad.
Shop Osted's Golf for Father's Day.
A fantastic fall fishing trip starts right now. Hi, I'm Crash Davis. I need you to go to balladsresort.com and get signed up. You've heard me talking about it. You've asked me about it. Well, now is the time to get signed up. Only a few spots remain. Only a few days remain for us to have a great fishing adventure together at Ballad's Resort in northern Minnesota. We're going to the Lake of the Woods. Get on the bus Sunday. We're back on Thursday, and it's cheaper than you could do for gas there and back hauling a boat. More details with balladsresort.com. Get signed up today. Time is of the essence.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. Now that we got through the spring and we're in the summer, what's better for summer than ice cream? I always say, get yourself a bucket load. Now, I know they don't sell it by the buckets at Ted and Wally's, but they do sell it by the pint. They do sell it by the half gallon. All you got to do is call ahead to get yours reserved today. And so many flavors. Go on social media, whether it's Facebook or on Twitter, and they have a list of the day's ice creams for both locations. That's in the old market, of course, and in Benson. Swing by there, get yourself some great ice cream this summer, and tell them Severe sent you.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. And 76, visit staples.com/print for details.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?